One class especially very busy. SF design. Oh God. Okay. I feel you. Okay. Let's start. I think I have everyone from the feedback tier. Yes, probably. Yeah, okay. So week 5 already. We're gonna talk about creating a mood board to prepare your own painting. So this is what I like to call build solid house foundation, because being able to find a good reference and be prepared to do your painting is something very important. I will give you a brief to follow. It's not like a very strict brief, but just an overall guide so we can all be on the same line. And I will show you one of my a process I like to use, which is Photobash as a way to sketch and create composition before going into layout, background design, and final image. So yeah, let's do the review of your homework first. Mm, how was the week? How was your homework? Maybe it was something a bit special because you had to test a lot of new things.
It was all right.
Okay.
Okay. I chose a new approach which is new for me. I tried to paint just with sharp edges,
Mm-hmm.
without blending modes and soft brushes. But, yeah, and I started to do a 3D to make
Cool.
overpaint, but it was too simple. I just
Okay.
don't see any sense to do it
Okay.
with such small props.
Okay. Didn't have much time, unfortunately, but cool exercise. Okay. I think I'm going to start with you, Juan. Yes, you're the first here. Still recovering from week 2, 3. I think I need more time per week, but I have realized that I've started to observe a lot more. Yes, again, I know I'm asking a lot during these 8 weeks, so it's okay if you don't have time to do everything, but at least you have like a lot of different exercise you can practice after the class. So okay, so Juan, if you're here, you can unmute and put your camera on and just talk about the process you tested and what you've learned, what you like the most, stuff like this.
Yeah, I didn't have much time. I just made two, but the first one is more or less the process that I usually follow because I usually use Procreate. I started using Photoshop now for this class, also because I bought a Cintiq very recently, and I'm more comfortable drawing than painting usually, and it's easier for me to have like a first sketch just as a guideline. I don't really make clean line art after, but just a rough sketch, and then I bring the opacity down. I put paint underneath, just very messy, just to get the rough values and colors that I want. And then I refine shapes very slowly, just trying to design interesting shapes that I find. And then what I did that is new in my process is I brought it to Photoshop, and with the Cintiq very more precisely with the lasso tool, I carved the shapes more than I usually do. And yeah, that was the first one I made.
Okay, cool. And the other one was in Photoshop with the lasso only, right?
Yes,
Okay, so and how was it
yeah,
for
I
you?
went a bit harder because I didn't have the sketch. So in the blockout phase, it looked like a mess. Like I thought nothing could come out of that. It looks so wrong. But then I kept working on it and adding shapes, smaller shapes, and it started to look like the reference slowly. But still, I'm not sure if the result is as good as the first one. I think I like the first one better, but I'm not sure.
I think I like the second one better, to be honest, because the fun fact about what you did is yes, okay, working like this is not something you're comfortable with. I truly understand. Again, I was the same. I was using line. And I will not push you to work like this, like work the way you feel comfortable. But the thing is, while working this way, like, let me go on top. I feel like your shape are way better. Like, for example, here you have just something like this, and here you have something that feels like, you see the curve is really different. So you have something maybe a bit more stylized, but we feel more the movement. And I feel this is pretty cool. Like here as well, you follow a bit less the reference, but you feel kind of more free, and your shape are more structured than on the top one. Same for what's going on here. Like there is less value variation, but the idea is the same, and we understand. I feel better. I understand better the subject and what's going on. So I think this is fun. Maybe, no, not really. Like, yeah, both are really great, to be honest. Like you did a great job. Um, but yeah, I think with this process, you created more interesting shape, basically. So yeah, it could be
Yeah,
great
I think
to
it's
see. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, because it pushed me a little bit to make stronger decisions, maybe like more geometric shapes with lasso. Because drawing you can make pretty much whatever you want and very organic curves, but sometimes it ended up being a little bit like too much like the reference and not
Yeah,
enough pushed, like, exaggerated. Yeah. True.
exactly. So maybe for you, what could be great would be to find an in between these two. Like, okay, you can go for this process if this is the more comfortable for you, but then try to think a bit more about your shape as you did here, basically. But it takes time. Um, but it was a good exercise for you, I think. So you can really see what you can improve and what you can grab from the lasso process and implement into your other process. So that's good. This is great.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and again, if you have some time, keep practicing different process, so you can try to grab different
Yeah,
idea
I wasn't really
from.
sure. Yeah, sorry. I wasn't really sure what other process I could try. Like I was brainstorming some other techniques to compare to this, but I maybe heavy paint like the app. It's forcing me to use just one thing and make everything in one layer, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, using one layer can be another process. Using a layer mode, like multiply and overlay to do your lighting, for example, instead of painting the lighting, can be something else. I think we're gonna see this with Raphael. I think Raphael did it. Um, so yeah, there is a tons of different process. Maybe doing a 3D base, but with only a gray block and then painting over. Maybe trying to do your texture with Photobash, like there is really, really a lot of different process.
Right.
And I think a lot of process that I don't know. So line tool only is another. Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but thank you so much. You did great.
Thank you.
I think I will not have like a lot of huge feedback for you this week because it's really talking about you, yourself, and what you've learned about yourself while testing other process, basically. And the other week, we're gonna have a lot of feedback. So yeah, Raphael, now let me open what I have.
Yes.
Okay, so how was the week for you, the homework?
Yeah, it was super cool to try a new process, and yes, try something new.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to tell me more about what you did and your approach for every process, could be cool.
Yeah. This process, especially, uh, I think is too rigid for me
Mhm.
because yeah, I prefer just to paint on just couple layer, but it's
Mhm.
cool to try it.
Okay, so you went for the one I was just talking about, like you use layer mode, like multiply, color dodge to create the lighting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, it was really interesting when I saw it on the Discord, because this is something that was asked to me in production for the movie Apollo I worked on. Since they wanted to be able to take the lighting out of my painting to use it in comp, they asked me to paint everything in local color, my texture as well, and to use multiply and overlay to do my shadow and my lighting. So it's not a process that I like a lot, but I had to do it for the production. So it's really
Okay.
interesting that you went for this, because yes, sometimes they can ask you to go for this. So that's cool.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Yes, it's
So
fun
this one, yeah.
to try 3D, but I spent too much time, I think, for the results.
Too much time with doing the 3D or doing the paint over?
3D and texturing, yeah.
Okay. And the texturing was done in 3D, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe you took a lot of time because you maybe not that much used to the software or something like this. I mean, I'm the same, I'm not
Yeah.
doing a lot of 3D, so I take a lot of time when I open Blender. So the thing is, with this process, most part of the time, you will receive this and you paint over this. That's it. You don't have to do any texture or anything. If someone in production provide you a 3D base, most part of the time you have a gray block like this. So it's useful for the perspective, for the overall volume, but that's it. So yeah, of course, sometimes you can have something with texturing, but I think I did not have this in production, not yet. No, not yet, because most part of the time you have to like do the texture in a specific art style. So maybe if you're doing something like really realistic, they can try to provide you some 3D texture or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think just a 3D base like this is what you need. And I think the thing you need to be careful when you paint over the 3D is to not always follow the 3D. Like, okay, the 3D, I can have like some weird angle like this. You don't have to keep them in the final, for example. I know we tend to really try to follow the 3D. I was doing the same. And at the end, I was like, yeah, but it feels too much 3D. It's because I just follow too much the 3D. And sometimes you can just try to do better in 2D because you're here to paint over. So try to just think of 3D as maybe a tool for the perspective and overall volume, but then do your thing on top of it, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
And this one.
Yeah. This one is more what I do generally, and yes, I'm more comfortable with this process.
Okay, so you try painting without sketching beforehand, restricting myself with layers. Yeah, find it enjoyable to work this way, but waste too much time trying to push the detail. Yeah, so basically you have everything maybe on like 3 layer, like you have like the ground, the sky, and then the main object, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great process as well. Maybe again, I'm just making a supposition here, but maybe it's a process more useful when you're doing keyframe, for example, because you can kind of do easy change. You can be in a painterly style. You don't have like you don't need to have a lot of layer because you're not designing or anything, so you don't have to change a lot of things. You can just basically paint over and over just to change the color and everything. This is great as well when you need to sketch, I think. I know some people use this to do final illustration, but they have like some really strong value structure, so they can like select the value and then paint inside it. I think Leon did something like this. But yeah, this is a good process as well.
Cool.
Okay, what about this one?
Yeah, I want to try Photobash, but I don't use a lot this process, and yes, it was difficult to match the texturing on top of the painting. But yes, it's cool to try it.
Yeah, I will talk about Photobash a lot today because I'm not using Photobash as a way to texture. I'm just using Photobash as a way to sketch. But yeah, I know a lot of production like to use Photobash as texture. So yeah, always good to try your line, your color, and yeah, Photobash as texture on top. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, the thing with Photobash is most part of the time you need to do a lot of color grading on top and then to implement your color and your lighting into your Photobash, maybe with some FX style, with some screen mode. And so you need a lot of software understanding as well, I think, so you can like do some trick here and there. So the Photobash is not too visible, but yeah. This can be also a good process for sketch, like if you just want to give a rough idea to your client of which material will be here and there. So yeah, if you're using it to texture, I think in sketch, like what you did could be a good thing, as long as you're like, yeah, this is like a rough Photobash just to give you an idea of the final material, could be a good idea.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I find it difficult to repaint on top of it. Makes sense. Okay, and this one,
Yeah, this one is just doodling with art brush. And yeah, on the 1 layers. And yeah, I like this this process. But I don't think for the production is useful.
I think, to be honest, all process can be useful in production. It really depends the way you use it. But what you're doing with this process is pretty great for maybe a sketch because you are creating some really great shape that you maybe don't have with the other process. Like even the shape I have here, they're really great. What I have here, this is great. The spacing between them, like this is really cool. So I don't think this is a bad process. I think this is a good one. Maybe with like at least 3 layers, so you can have like, you know, the ground, the sky, and the main object. The thing behind this one is like, okay, you have this, now you need to be patient and you need to learn how to go further and be able to add more detail while keeping this interesting shape inside your painting. And I know it can be difficult, but this is a good challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a good one, really.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have really, I think this is the one where you have the best shape. So again, it's like maybe trying to do a mix between some of this process, like, okay, maybe not only 1 layer, maybe 3, because you don't like to work with a lot of layer. Maybe it can be useful to have the lighting, only the lighting on a separated layer, so you can refine the shape easily, and maybe the detail are going to be easier to work on. But yeah, just try to upgrade this process to be able to detail, basically. But this is cool.
Okay, cool. Thanks
Really
for
great.
the feedback.
Of course. Thank you. Okay, then I have Roman. Roman, are you here?
Yep, I'm here. Hi.
Hey. Okay, so how was your homework? And if you want to explain me what you did and how it goes.
Work. I like this homework in general. I really enjoyed the process, most of the processes. I think the first one was it was the easy one, but it was the longest one too. I tried to explain it because I couldn't stop just adding more layers and try to do in details, and I think it's a bad thing. Yeah.
Okay. Let me read what you did. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, so the silhouette first, lasso tool.
Yeah, everything I did for the first approach with lasso and just soft brush with a bit noise to make some gradients. So for me, it was pretty
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great process. I like that you first make the overall silhouette, and then when you're happy with it, then you can put the detail. This is really great as well when you're sketching a full environment, just blocking strong shape.
Yes.
This is really useful. But yeah, I understand that when you do this, and since it's your comfort zone, then you want to go in detail and more, and then you add layers and layers in detail, and you can stop.
Yeah, I started to find even the perfect font for the details. So it's it took time.
I understand. But this is great. You did great.
Thank you.
Okay, so what about this one?
The next one I tried just soft brush, one layer. Most of the time I was using just one layer and that's it. But in the end I realized that I did a bit different work, because later I started to think about the whole homework that I need to do exactly one object in one style, but different approaches. So this one look a bit different compared to others. And for my process, I was just painting and painting like over. I like to use the red background for the silhouette. I tried to explain because yeah, it looks more like shiny and
this is something
vibrant through this.
traditional. This is like doing an underpaint, and this is a really great idea.
Yeah, many artists using this approach. So yeah, it was also kind of enjoyable, but it was hard to shape things and be like very good in details. So it was, I don't know, if you zoom in, you will see like all the brush strokes, and it doesn't look perfect for details. And I think it will be hard for, I don't know, if it will be for 3D models later. The 3D modelers will be a bit confused and they will be asking some questions how to do this and this. So yeah, and also it took much longer just because you need to paint everything.
Yeah,
So yeah.
for this part, I think it just depends on people. Like it took you longer, but I think Rafael would be quicker. So it's like just depending on people and the process you're using. But yeah, what is interesting with what you just say is like this approach make it think more alive and less digital, because you have to kind of paint everything, even the typo. So I think this is a good thing. Like again, trying to find a good balance between these two can be cool. Like, okay, you like this approach, but maybe if you want to add a bit more life into it, maybe you can try to paint the typo or just to add some more pencil-y effect here and there, just to kind of remove the digital aspect to it. So again, this is just an idea. It's really like a discussion with you. So yeah, this is something that might be asked in production as well, when they are just looking for the art direction, for example, because process and art direction are kind of working together, because some process are more efficient according to the art direction. So and this one was in Blender. Okay.
Yeah, this one I did everything in Blender. For me, modeling part was the easiest part because it's just like blocking its simple shapes. Yeah, it's just boxes and yeah. And then I was just playing with the light and colors and materials. And it's good that I already have some stock of materials I was using like way before, so I can just import it to the program and just reuse it. So it's kind of yeah, also
Okay.
comfortable to use.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
I decided to do everything in Blender, not using Photoshop or anything. So
Okay. Yeah, this is
yeah.
really great. I don't know how to do this in Blender, to be honest. I'm just doing gray blocks in Blender. But yeah, this is cool. This is really great.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if this is like faster in some way, this is great as well. Because again, when you have to deliver projects, like if you think that for this props or this thing you're faster in 3D, then go for 3D. If you think you're faster in 2D, go for 2D. Like again, depending on the subject, depending on the production. So this is cool if you know how to use Blender properly. Oh, really great. And again, if you know how to mix like 3D and 2D, then this is perfect. Okay, and this one was the Photobash.
Yeah, this one is a Photobash. The main complication was just to find good photos, like high-res photos. Yeah, I decided to put every photos I was using for this.
Okay.
But it was pretty fast, I would say. There is no artwork, just a bit to reduce details. I remove some scratches and stuff, make it more clean and smooth, and yeah, just color grading and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, another disadvantage is that there is very little artwork involved. So when you're doing full Photobash, you can end up like frustrated because you're just like doing a collage of photo and then you're like, yes, but I want to paint. So I will talk about this later as well, but I just like to mix Photobash and painting. So Photobash is like my base and then I paint on top of it. So yeah, just to avoid this frustrating effect. I know some people like to only do Photobash, but it's not my case. So yeah, that's cool if you were able to understand what you like and what you don't like in every process, just so you can create your own process at the end. So this is cool. And I think the thing that was maybe difficult for you is that you already have a full reference and you can almost already use the original photo to create the Photobash. So I think it was also difficult.
It was like this photo is like low resolution, so I didn't use it. I tried to find it.
Yeah, I can see it. Like this is completely different, and your version feels more stylized. So this is really great. You did a great job, and I think this one was like particularly challenging for this reason, like having to do Photobash of an existing photo. This is something.
Yeah, kind of.
This is cool. You did great. Jacob says, love all your attention to the graphic design in this. Yeah, I agree. This is really cool. Yeah, you did a good job. And yeah, I hope you were able to grab some cool stuff here and there from each process so you can put it in your own later. So that's cool.
Yeah, I wanted to draw something like on paper, but I didn't have much time for this also.
Yeah, maybe later if you have if you have more time. Maybe sometime on production you can just sketch something and then you scan it and you paint over it, and that's cool as well. So yeah, it would be great to try next time. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Amazing work, guys. Yes, you're all doing amazing. Okay, then I have Leon. If you are here, I think you are.
Hello. Yes,
Hello. So, how was the week and the homework?
it was yeah, really fun. I really enjoy it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, if you want to tell me more about
Mm.
what you did.
Yeah, for the first one, it's a process I already did before. I really enjoyed this one because yeah, I focus on it helped me to focus on shape
Mhm.
readability, value grouping, etc.
Yeah.
And yeah, each step I focused on one things to solve. That's why I really enjoy this process. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really great. I think again, this one is a good one for your sketches if you're doing keyframe and color key, because you can really focus on your value grouping and your main shapes. And then you can just select the value and then put the color inside it. So this is really great.
Yeah, but it's harder if I want to refine it into a final piece, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, what is a final piece? There is
Yeah,
an
more
entire
refine.
debate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like a 40 background,
Yeah, I mean, to
for
me, this is
example.
already a
Yeah.
final piece. It really depends on the final render
Yeah.
you want. But yeah, of course, if you want to maybe add more texture and make it fit a really precise direction, and if you need to maybe design inside it and apply feedback, yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it can be difficult because you don't have much layer. So you may have to like redo a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of like a solid 3D structure. If I don't have a drawing pass, yeah, I can understand. Okay. And time consuming if you want to refine. Sorry, I'm reading your your notes at the
Yeah.
same time. Yeah, this is a good approach, really. And yes, you feel more creative and connected to the process. I agree for this one because you just think about painting and that's it. You don't have to really think about the software.
Yeah.
So this is really cool. So again, I
Really.
think, oh, yeah, sorry, go
No,
ahead.
I just wanted to say, yeah, I really enjoy going back and forth between all the shapes I make. Just yeah, having the overall interaction, having the yeah, controlling all the shape between all elements without without tools, just painting. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really great. Again, I think if I was using this process, it would be more for the sketch because it kind of free your mind and you just can sketch without having to care about the software or anything. You can just control your shape and your value. So yeah, this is a really, really great process and for keyframe as well. So this is cool. And I think this is also a process that Illustrator can use if they want to do a final painting. So yeah, this is a good one. But yeah, depending on production, can be
Yeah.
tricky if you need to apply feedback. So yeah. Okay, what about this one?
This one I tried to yeah put local colors, then using adjustment layer.
Like multiply and overlay, like Raphael
Yeah,
did.
I just focused on hue saturation layers, and
Okay.
I paint on layer mask because
Okay.
yeah, I feel like multiply. I don't know. I'm not comfortable. I don't like it, so I
Okay.
prefer to with hue saturation. I'm more in control with value
Mm-hmm.
with colors I choose.
Okay.
Then once I choose my colors, I just need to render the form on on
Okay.
the layer mask.
This is interesting.
So yeah,
I never tried this before. This is cool. Should try.
I
I mean,
think
I'm using the hue saturation as well, but I never tried to like use only this to paint my shadow and light, and yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
cool.
very fun. Yeah, but you have
Okay.
when you want to change color, you want to add new colors. like a bounce light extra, you have to
Mhm.
add new layers with hue saturation. So so you will have a lot of layers, and for me it can be very overwhelmed. I can be very overwhelmed. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of layer. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like Raphael. You like to paint on like 2-3
Yeah.
layer maximum or only one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
I have to
understand.
find the balance between
Yeah.
layers and painting itself.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can for your personal work and for some specific job, you can paint on one layer, and we don't care. But yeah, you just basically need to be able to work with more layer, just in case you need it
Yeah.
for the production. But I think, when you like to paint on one layer, you can just ask to your client before, or do you need like a layered PSD at the end? Do you want to project my painting or not?
Oh, yes.
Just ask all these questions before, and so you know which process you can go for. This is what I like to do, because since, for example, I like to paint my lighting directly inside my object, all the time I'm like, oh, just so I know, do you need the lighting on separated layer, like overlay multiply, or can I paint everything? Do you need all my background, foreground, middle ground separated because you're gonna do parallax or anything? Or is it just like a concept art piece and you will just use it as a reference and you don't need anything? So can I be chaotic and messy in my PSD and no one care about it? Or do I need to respect my colleague and clean my mess? This is the
Yeah.
thing. So
Depending
yeah.
on the goal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think Natalie asked a question about like, do you ask more reference or anything like this to your client? This is the same thing. Like, really try to ask everything you need before you start. There is no stupid question. So yeah, think about this. Think about you and what you need to know so you can paint in a more comfortable way, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, non-destructive, easy to change color, lighting, better control of color value. Okay. And this one with the mouse only.
Yes. I wanted to try. So
Really
yeah,
great.
it helped me to keep simple. But yeah, I think I was frustrated because yeah, painting is I really like painting with hands, so maybe I just have a bit of time to get used to. But
Yeah, but
yeah, it's
you don't have
really
to.
interesting.
Yeah, again, you don't have to. Like, I have a traditional background, so I love to paint as well. But yeah, just because to me this is fun to paint with my mouse and to create like cool shapes. So again, it depends on people. You don't have to use the
Yeah.
mouse. But yeah, maybe, I started to use my mouse just because I wanted to kind of free some space in my brain because I was too perfectionist and I was going too much in detail. And I was like, okay, I know with the mouse, I just can't go into much detail. So let's go for this. So I will kind of bridle my brain and my mind, and I will be able to make maybe a clearer shape and strong decision. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I decided to paint with the mouse for a specific reason. So again, maybe it can be useful for
Yeah.
a specific project or just for yourself. But yeah, or maybe never, just because you don't like it, and that's
No,
fine.
I think in the early process I enjoy it because it's very simple and you keep the shape simple. But once you want to refine it, this is the trickiest part for
Yeah.
me. So yeah.
I understand. I'm the same. Like, for example, if I'm using my mouse to paint my entire painting, and then at the end I want to have something more pencily, this is really hard because you're like, oh, but the shape are so beautiful and kind of perfect because these are made with tools, and you're like, I need to kind of destruct it, and it feels not really natural. I don't know if it was the same thing for you, but
Yeah, I
this
feel
is
like
what is happening.
when I want to make some precise shapes, I'm more focused on I don't know it's harder to control it. Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Yeah, this
to
is the thing.
explain.
Yeah, but I understand. We had a discussion today with Pierre, who is working on the same homework as you for week 8. And he likes to work on Printly stuff, but he also likes to do some really strong blocking with the mouse, as I'm doing. So the thing is, he did the blocking with like the mouse, so it's like very graphic, and then he's like, yeah, but I want a more Printly feeling. I don't want to have this strong blocking. And it was like, I don't know how to do it because I need to kind of destruct the blocking to make the Printly appear again. So it's like trying to find a balance between these two, so you can have the Printly feeling is after, while being organized with the first blocking he did. So this is really tricky, but I understand.
Yeah, it's a good
This is the
balance.
reason why, yeah, this is a balance, yeah. And I think you saw me struggling in the Arcane demo because it was Printly, but I had this kind of strong blocking with shape done with the mouse. I was like, I need to destruct my shape. I don't know how to do it. So yeah, I understand. And yeah, too much layer, of course. Of course, too much layer. But I'm working with 100 of layers, so I don't care anymore about my layer. Okay, so this one with 1 layer and a texture brush, right?
Yeah, I take a random brush and just put
Yeah.
on my Canva.
Okay.
Yeah, this one was just painting, and for me it was pretty quick, but not clean. Just painting, focus on wait, just paint.
Yeah, this
That's
is
it.
cool. Yeah, your color are really great. Of course, the shape are maybe less strong.
Yeah,
But
less
this is cool.
accurate.
Yeah, but your color are great. You have more contrast on this one, which is fun. I don't know why. Okay, let me read what you have here. Yeah, quick result, the feeling of freedom. Yeah, same as the other one, without thinking of any tool. But yeah, you have to think about the fundamentals all at once. So yeah. Difficult to have a clean painting if you don't separate the element on different layer, of course. I mean, I guess with practice, you can do it. I'm sure people are able to do it. I'm not, but I'm sure people can do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, not very modular. So if I need to change any part of the painting, I have to change it manually. Yeah. And again, I'm from the people who don't really, I mean, I don't really trust myself all the time. So I need to be able to change the thing, because if I can't, I'm like, anxiety mode. So yeah. Okay. And this one with a line, right?
Yeah, it's almost the same on the 1 layer, but I add a line before, then I paint over, and I feel like it's very comfortable. I feel safe with line, and also I'm feel free, so it's a good balance.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the outside touch, like being able to do grid shape with only the round brush.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're doing really grid shape with only the round brush. You're like kind of cutting each side the round, so you have like some really cool repetitive shapes. So this is cool. This is a rounder I like as well. So maybe I'm not very neutral on this process. This is a process that I like. I mean, I'm not using it a lot, but I like the final rounder.
Yeah, me too. But I think mixing every tools for a process means mixing all I learned. Yeah, it's how can I say? I forgot what I wanted to say.
Yeah, it can be useful to try to
Yeah.
mix some of the process
Yeah,
together.
yeah,
Yeah.
mixed together, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you just take what you like here and there and you create your own process. Again, I was talking about that with Pierre during our lunchtime. We were like, it was like, yeah, I need to understand how these people do illustration like this. And I was like, you know, a lot of people can achieve the same illustration, but they all have a different process. So yeah, just try to grab what fits you the most and then create your own process. It will always be a little bit different than
Yeah.
your neighbor, just because you're different, you know. So yeah, this is cool. Yeah, really great work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, next is Isabella. If you are here.
Hello, yes.
Hello. Okay, this is the ref. Okay, so how was the homework for you? And if you can explain me what you did.
It was quite fun, but difficult, especially later when I was doing the second approach, because we already have a photo, and modeling out of photo and doing the same lightning is kind of boring. And then overpainting it and making it look the same, it's just unnatural for me personally. So I think I enjoyed the most the last approach when it's fully line art, because it's the funnest one. Because this is mostly my background, because I used to draw for many years before I started painting. So this one was the most pleasurable one.
Yeah, you're really, really great at doing line art. This is really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I kind of forgot what I was supposed to say, but overall, I have very positive experience. I feel bad that I couldn't do a little bit more, because I feel like if I did additional one with, for example, photo brushing, I would have slightly better understanding, and maybe one with like one layer mode. But overall, I think it was quite eye-opening, because this is the first time when I was actually forced to overpaint 3D base, not targeting into a realistic image. So that part was insanely challenging, because I don't really like the feeling of 3D render, and overpainting it is very hard because you want to keep the 3D render, because you feel it looks good, it doesn't look good, but you think it looks good. And when you overpaint it, you have a feeling that you destroy it. So doing this with that like more painterly style than photo brushing was very uncomfortable, very weird.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, let me go through everything that you did. Okay, so your perspective sketch, intercolor blocking. Okay. I like the idea of the random free brush. This is what I like to do. Okay. I think I need to make a specific exercise for you so you can draw car, because I know you're afraid of car.
I hate cars. I can draw a tractor. I can draw any kind of vehicle you want, but if you give me a car, I will be crying.
Okay, so just do more car.
I know.
But yeah, I understand. But like every time I ate something, I'm like, you know what? I will only do this thing during 1 month. And at the end, I still ate it, but I know how to do it. So
Yes, I know that the moment when I will be just painting only cars for like a month or a year till I learn it actually is coming, but I'm trying to push it away as long as I can.
Okay, yeah, the 3D base, the 3D render. Yeah, as I was saying before, most part of the time you will just have a gray block. And maybe it's easier when you just receive a gray block because you're not influenced by the 3D lighting that can really feel 3D and kind of fake sometimes. So this is maybe the reason why it was a bit uncomfortable to paint over it.
I think the part that helped me a little bit is
Okay.
because I do mostly 3D plus photo brushing at work. One of my colleagues is doing that. He's rendering one texture and then he's doing additional render with a different texture. So then he's like masking one of the renders and he's painting the texture on top of it. So he can still have this feeling of painting, but it's still 3D, but it gives like a good beginning for overpainting it because you have a feeling that you already paint, but it's still the 3D. So it's like kind of tricking your mind into thinking that you are doing something.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Okay. I never had to do this, but this is really interesting. Yeah, so this is what you were talking about, like the texture to mix. Okay. Yeah, the ID pass for selection. This is really great. This is easy to do your blocking on top of it. Yeah, and the final image. Yeah, okay, so you kind of paint over it, but then you keep some of the 3D texture. Okay. Yeah, this is something for having like a quick render, I guess. Okay, so you're like working 3D, but way too long. Okay, save time to render. Yeah, I understand this feeling of like the 3D base is always visible. This is what you said before, but this is the reason why I always try to, again, just use my 3D base as reference for volume and perspective. And then when I do my blocking, I try to not follow too much the 3D. I mean, if the production asks me, you need to be really precise and follow these branches so the animation can use it, I'm like, okay, I will follow it. But if I'm kind of free, I like to not follow perfectly the 3D base, so it doesn't feel too much 3D in the end. But again, depending on production and what you're asked to do. Oh, that's cool. I need to look up how to do that. Looks like it helped a lot. So yeah, Isabella, if you want to talk with Jacob about your process. Yeah, the ID pass, yeah. This is really great. This is something I was asking.
So it is very, very useful. I can send link on the chat with tutorial because it's quick.
Yeah, could be cool and useful for a lot of people, I'm sure. But yeah, this is something I was asking sometime in some production, and they were like, yeah, we don't know how to do it. And I was like, okay. And I was not able to really explain what it was. I was like, yeah, this is a clone mask, something with like a lot of color so I can select everything. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounded.
Okay, and this one was the line 1 in traditional.
Yes. This one is, I think that I already knew the perspective, so it was not that difficult to start drawing it because I already painted it a few times.
Yeah.
But the tricky part was that because I only used ink, I don't have any pencil here, so I have to, whatever I draw stays here.
Okay,
so
cool.
Sometimes I make a dot somewhere, like a small dot. You can see some dots.
I see it
here and there. It's a vanishing point. And so I always know where the perspective line kind of is. And the same with the buildings, that I make dots sometimes in weird parts, so I know where the composition starts and ends. So I won't like forget to draw something because I draw it too big. So,
yeah, this is really interesting. I never did this like with the point here and there. This is really cool, really interesting. Yeah, when I saw your work, I was like, with point and dot, okay. And I was like, oh, that's so smart. So this is so cool. You know what? I would really, really love to see this. Like you scan it, you put it in Photoshop, and then you finish it in Photoshop and you keep the line. Would be so great. Like again, your line work is so cool. I don't know, I just kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but there is something really vibrant about it. The line work is really amazing. So could be really interesting to see a mix of this with a final painting. I don't know if you already tried to do that.
I tried it once on iPad, but I don't really like painting on iPad. So it was, it kind of looked like watercolors on the line work, but I have to do it also in Photoshop. So I can check how can actually.
Yeah, could be really great. Or maybe you can be like, oh, okay, I will keep the line out, but only in the shadow. Like, test something like this, or maybe you can just keep the entire line art. But yeah, I'm sure you can end up with something really, really cool and a cool style. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, really great. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay, so next is Katya. Let me open what you did. Okay, Katya, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. So yeah, if you want to talk a bit more about what you did, you already talked about it a little at the beginning of the session, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just did one very soft version of this kiosk of the storage room, and one I tried to restrict myself with sharp edges, but I forgot the gradient on the windows on the right
Okay.
side. Noticed after posting it. Yes, I started this sharp edges version with the lines, and I would only use lines when they are supposed to remain in the final picture, because they give me false perception of edges. It seems like there is enough contrast and division on edges, and
yeah,
there is not.
Oh yeah, okay, I see.
Yes, and I enjoyed. It's pretty much my comfort zone, to be honest. Yeah, to draw by hand and then paint it. But I do usually use a lot of overlays and layer modes and pretty I draw a shape and then I cut it, and it has a gradient mask on the other side. So I made it simpler than usual. Yep, that's it.
Okay. You have a very interesting process. Okay, so this one is really great. I really like to see sketches with pencil like this. It's really cool. I like the scratches you have as well. And yeah, your image is way more readable than the reference already. So we can feel that you understood what you're doing. So this is really great. This one is cool as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, really great. And I really love this one. I'm a big fan of markers. So I mean, I'm not using markers. I just need to practice because right now I'm really bad. But yeah, I just like to see people using it. This is so cool.
Yes, thank you. This one I decided not to fill with color and just to add some color on this brush marker strokes, just to make it more alive and vibrant.
Yeah, you have like some really, really strong shape. I really like it. Yeah, really. And I like that you went for just few color here and we don't care about the background. I like that you put this thing near to the main subject, so you can create like one more composition element. This is great. Just so we don't have like one thing straight in the image, so you skew a little bit the main subject and the other one here. This is great. And this curve here, I know this is a tiny element, but this is really cool. It helps us to really stay in your image. This is cool. Okay, so this one was in Photoshop directly.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I can feel maybe this one you were maybe less comfortable with it. Because you have like a lot of value variation, which are great. Like I like the color you put inside it, but maybe we lose a little bit of the overall volume and the overall shape of it. But this is a great process as well. Again, I really like that you went for stuff completely different. But yeah, I think like trying to go for kind of the how to say that properly, like you feel really free when you're using markers or pencils. So yeah, could be great to like keep this idea, but then try to incorporate this into it, just so you can have this freedom in your sketch, and then just have the color variation of what you're doing here and try to like implement more shapes. But yeah, this is really great.
Yes, thank you. This is definitely something I would like to learn and practice more. I have a feeling that I lose the focus object and the background is too vibrant and it takes too much attention.
I think there is never like such thing as using the wrong object to study or anything. I think you can make something great out of nothing. This is what you did with the previous one. So yeah, no, again, you did great, really, really, really. I think if you have kept the idea of what you did here, for example, or here, like just avoiding to like put too much contrast on this car and on this building, so we can really focus on your main object and try to create a more appealing overall shape to your main object, the image would have been better, basically. But yeah, again, you did great, and I know the process cannot be easy. So yeah, really, really great and really different process. So this is awesome. And again, really great job on like this one. I really like it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Of course. Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me just read quickly what I have in the chat. Okay, you're talking about the 3D magic to do the clown thing. Okay. You're 3D wizard. I don't know how to do this. Okay, so hi Rife, you're here.
Hello, I'm here.
Hello. Okay, so how was the week? And if you want to talk about what you did.
Well, it was fun. I kind of just went to the traditional route because I wanted to explore it a little bit more, and the whole week was just like, the time factor. So I
Yeah.
liked it. I had fun.
Okay.
Yeah, all my traditional stuff were all dusty already, so it was nice to get them out.
That's cool.
The first one was like, yeah. The first one was a pen one, which I really like. I always like sketching with pen, so it was just straight pen. It's a little wonky with the perspective, but I'm like, it's fine. I'm like, I just wanted to see, you sketch it out in a pen. The next one is watercolor. I hate it. I don't even know why I have a watercolor set. I should throw it out.
This is so hard. I tried watercolor. I was so bad. I was like, oh, I can't control anything.
I
It's
don't
flowing
understand it.
everywhere. And I'm like, what?
So yeah, watercolor artist, I respect you.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but for the next one, I kind of just imported it in Photoshop, try to fix some of the whites and all that.
This
I
is
think I could have
great.
done it with gouache. Oh, thank you. But all my gouache dried up as well, so all the traditional stuff are gone. But it was
Because of
fun.
digital. Okay.
Yeah. It's been a while. It's been a while since I took all of that out. But no, it was nice. But
Yeah,
I don't think
I
I'll.
like it.
Mhm.
I like
Thank
that you combine these two to give this one, basically. This is cool to be like, okay, I don't like this one, but I like this one. So maybe if I combine these two and then I tweak something in Photoshop, I can have something. And yeah, you did great. It was smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your shape are better. Like to
Yeah.
lead to your focus compared to this one that is more like
Yeah, no. Yeah, we're not gonna use that. It's gonna hide forever. But
no. No, but truly, you did great with this one.
thanks. But the next one is Procreate. I don't really use it a lot, but I do want to learn how to use it more. I just ended up just using basic brush and a lasso tool. But I kind of like that because I'm constrained with just basic stuff, so I have to like work with what I have, and I end up with something more graphic, which I found out I really, really like graphic look, kind of like the framed ink type of black and white
Yeah, this is
style.
great. It's like doing a value grouping. This is what Leon did before. This is really great to have like a strong silhouette, to do sketches, to have something really readable, and to sell your idea really fast. This is great, really. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Procreate as well. I mean, I'm trying it from time to time, but I'm just not used to draw on like a glass surfaces. I know you can put some specific paper on top of it now, but I don't know. It feels weird to me to use it, and plus I can't use a lot of layer, and you know, I'm a layer girl, so it's really frustrating for me.
My layer's pretty bad.
Yeah.
This one is just basically the pen with just a simple Photoshop like value type of thing.
Okay.
Just putting in simple values.
This is cool.
And, yeah, I think I saw like sketches of environment where just like they just plop in basic values. And then the other one is just Photoshop. I think I did less digital stuff because I feel like I've been doing so much digital like for the past few years. So I'm like, oh, let's get back to like traditional and see how it goes. So
yeah, your traditional pieces are really lively. I really like it. Yeah, it can be. This is what I was saying before to someone else. But could be great maybe to incorporate a bit more of this freedom to your digital process. So we can have maybe something less digital. Again, this is something that I like to do. This is a process I like as well. But sometimes I feel that I kind of miss this freedom, and this is something I try to implement more into my painting, and hopefully my current project also help me to go back to more traditional process, because I need to use my stylus, so it helps as well to go away from digital. But yeah, again, these are just personal taste, so you can take it or leave it. But yeah.
No, definitely taking the tips. This one was interesting. I thought like, what if we just mixed everything? And it was just Photoshop, and I was like, let's put like watercolor texture effects in the background, like when they bleed and all that, and then have some textures on the foreground. And it reminds me of like Coraline stuff. I think they kind of do, I don't know how they do it, but it's like flat textures on top of each other, but it's like traditional textures. It's pretty interesting. So I was like, oh, let me try that. So
this one is cool. Really
that
cool.
one.
Yeah, this is more or less what I was saying before. Like this one feels more lively. I mean, this is also the art direction that you went for, because again, I like process, art direction, they kind of go together. This is the reason why we had like a week for art direction and then a week for process, just so you can realize that, yeah, this is something you can work together. But yeah, this one is working really well. You have some strong shape that you can create easily in digital. You have something lively from something maybe more traditional. So yeah, and I like the combination with the watercolor background. Even if you don't like watercolor, you put watercolor in it, and this is great.
It's just a texture digitally.
Yeah, but
yeah,
this is well made.
Thanks. Yeah, and the last one is just Procreate, like the same one on top, but I just tweaked it more in Photoshop because I like my brushes more in Photoshop, and I like it. Yeah, just simple black and white stuff.
Yeah, this is great. So we can really focus here instead of focus here. So this is cool. Yeah, I like the variation you did here. We really go into the focus. So yeah, this one is great. Maybe could have been going to skew this tree to avoid to have something like this, just so we can have something that leads to the focus a bit more, you know, something like this.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
This is something that I like to do recently. Like I kind of skew some stuff here and there just so I'm sure people stay in the painting. Like, this is something you did here. And I'm like, yeah, this is cool. And this is what you did here. So we always go to your focus. Yeah, this is really, really great. And so is there something you kind of discover about your process and about yourself, something you want to implement more into your current process that you did not thought about or not at all?
I found that I really like like really graphic shapes and like a little wonk to it. The black and white, I really enjoyed that one. So maybe I'll try to push more for that in my other works. And
Yeah.
I do like the watercolor effect. Maybe I'll put those kind of textures more in the future to experiment with it. But yeah, it
Yeah.
was fun.
Yeah, it could be really great. Yeah, you did an amazing job. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Leah.
Oh, Natalie, you saw a bunny in the background. Yeah. Yeah, this is still Bob. He's running everywhere. I don't know where he is. I love the lasso tool in Procreate. You know what? I don't know how to use this lasso tool. I think I just need to practice, but the lasso tool in Procreate is doing something weird. Like you have a weird selection inside it and some like straight line in it. I'm like, what the fuck is this lasso tool? So yeah, I don't know. Okay, so then I have Blanchette if you're here.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, how was the week for you?
Oh, it was really busy. I'm close to submitting my portfolio, so a lot of sleep is nice. I try my best to squeeze some of the homework in. Hopefully I can do more next week. But
Okay.
yeah, so I went for the where I usually do like line art, color, and the rendering for the first one, and because I'm not really good at blocking in big shapes and like thinking about values at the same time. So I did that for my last one, and then I was like, you know what? Let's have some fun. So I got my marker pens out and did a traditional one as well.
That's cool. Yeah, you have a really different style with each process. This one is cool. Again, feels like you are all overall more free while doing traditional. So it could be great to have this good mix between traditional and digital. Because yeah, this one feels maybe a bit too flat, you know. So I'm like, maybe the lasso tool was riddling you. I don't know. And
Yeah,
here
I'm
the
not really sure
colors
how
feel.
to
Oh,
do like
sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm not sure how to make it look more 3D when I'm just like blocking shapes.
Okay. But yeah, here you have like really more vibrant color. And your shape are pretty great on this one as well. And this one feels more in volume as well. Like more in perspective. So yeah. Yeah, it would be great maybe for you also to try 3D a bit more and paint over it. So you can see what you can manage to do. I know it can be a challenge as well. But yeah, you did pretty great. Amazing work on PS and traditional texture. Oh, okay, it was for Irish, sorry. But yeah, really great. I don't know how you do a marker thing, to be honest. I'm really bad at it.
I have like 2,000 colors. Oh, sorry, 200 colors. That was way too much. No one had 2,000 colors.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I think I don't have much to say except what I just said. Yeah, did great. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay, then I have Lucy, if you are here.
Yep, hi.
Hey, how was the week for you?
I took it a bit easier this time. I just picked, I took my roommate's figurine and I kind of just like put it under a lamp and I just painted it. And so I wanted to do 3D, but I ended up not having time, so I focused more on doing different using different tools to paint. And the first method is the first and second one is like the method that I am more used to, where I just paint on top of the sketch with like a more scratchy pencil tool. And that one is usually easier for me to render. And the next two is more of bigger brushes that are more general shapes, and the reference is on the right side.
Okay. Round brush only, you're traumatized. Okay, I'm sorry.
It was quite fun though, like at the end, but in the beginning it was really difficult.
Yeah, but I know the round brush can be tricky. But you really need to think about this round brush, maybe not as a way to paint really stroke by stroke, but as a way to create shape like Raphael and Leon are doing. But again, I know this process is not easy to use for everyone. So I truly understand that you can be traumatized after using only the round brush.
Yeah. And
this
the
one
last
round brush.
one,
Oh, sorry.
yeah. The lasso tool one, I was just trying to do more organic shapes with like something that's like, because when we were doing the everything, the painting from before, it was more geometric shapes. So I was able to do lasso tool successfully before, but this I was trying to understand how to simplify the shape so I can also do a more organic shape with lasso tool. But yeah, that was also a struggle.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, what you did here, this is amazing, really. I really like this version. I mean, this one is amazing as well. The color you have, they're really vibrant, they're really great. But what I like with this one is that you were able to refine some of the shape. So we have something really interesting. This is really cool. And we understand better what's going on here. So this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shape are great. The reference is so cute. I can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think basically this is what we are missing in these two. Like here, your shape are pretty well organized, and we understand what's going on. And you took some bold decision. Like for example, here, like the line of the shoulder is more like this, and here you went for something maybe a bit more realistic, according to your reference. So again, both are right, but again, this is an in between. Like you did great with this one, feels a bit more realistic, but maybe would benefit of some of the strong shape and decision you did here. Like for example, what you have here in the hair would have been great here as well. The strong shape decision you did here to avoid to have like something simple like this maybe could have been great here just to give it more life. So again, could be great. This is what Irish did before, like try to find an in between these two to see what you can come up with. I know testing process is a long way. This is something that I like to do a lot. Like when I'm discovering a new process, I'm like, okay, maybe now I can try to mix this process with another one and with another one. And then I'm like, oh, this is a new way to do something. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, as you say, yeah, this one needs to be a bit more organic. So we can be able to really understand the structure and the proportion of it. Maybe this one was a little bit lost in the process because we lose some of the proportion and stuff like this. But I like the idea that you really try to use your tool basically and go for simple shape. So yeah, maybe could be great to like try again this technique just for you to be able to take some bold decision and create easy simple shape to read. And again, it could benefit to this and to this. So this all this entire process kind of go together and can create something really great in the end. So that's cool. But again, like really, really amazing work here. Thank you so much. Love how you did the pens and that rag brush. Yeah, this is cool. This is really great. This is a great simplification. Oh yeah, you know what, Jacob, you are here. This is your turn. And I have a lot of video from you and a lot of process.
Yeah, some of these had videos with them, just because like either like the 3D, I could do a video easy, or the like heavy paint. It just like has like the process you can just export. So
okay, so useful to try out angle and proportion quickly. Good to try lighting, shame. Don't really like 3D modeling. Mention and use it for making other things though. And would rather the end product look more like a drawing or at least look 2D. Okay, and you did the first sketch before and you put the sketch into 3D and then you modded it, right?
yeah, I was thinking to do like a whole entire like laundromat at first, because I was like, oh, I could just make like the laundry machine and just copy and paste it. And then I was like, well, when I have to paint that, that's going to be a lot. So I'm just going to, I was trying to think of it in terms of like biz dev. So having like one little scene that just looks like a bunch of props, but like it has like all the props in it. So that's why I just picked like this little like one washing machine and like the chair and the change machine, the basket, things like that.
This is cool. Really great idea.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, that's cool. And okay, so do you have a video for this one?
Just like a little, like the camera just like zooming around.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Like I wanted to like animate the sun and like just kind of show the details. I put the hinge too low, so it's like kind of crooked. But that's an easy fix.
This is cool. Sorry, don't mind me. I just want to see it again.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, this is really great. Again, for me, 3D people, you are a wizard. So this is so cool.
I actually have never like really like modeled like my own stuff before. I've done like tutorials like in the last like couple months, but this is the first time I'm like, okay, I have the sketch, so I know what it needs to be, and then I have to figure out like how to model that. So that was like an interesting challenge. If you have like the file and you look at the laundry basket really close, the little holes are like really bad.
Okay.
It's just like really choppy, but you can't see it from here, so it's fine.
Yeah. And again, like it can be useful in production for you if you need to model something quickly so you can have it in perspective and you don't care if it's not perfect. Like this is not the ideas because you will repaint over it or anything. So this is cool. And this is also great to be able to set up a lighting so you don't have to think that much when painting after because you already know where are going to be the projected shadow and stuff like this. So yeah, this is great if you need to save some space in your brain.
Yeah, I actually like using the lighting and like the camera setup more than like the modeling just feels like tedious to me. But then when it's done, then I can like move the sunlight around and like change the like the atmosphere and the bloom. Like that's a lot more fun.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so this one was painting over this one, right?
Yeah, so this one I finally used like the trackpad.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember this. Okay.
And it was a little bit easier, but it's still hard to get like detail because I'm just so used to when there's like a complicated shape like the hole of like the laundry machine, like I want to just like draw it with my hand, and I can't really do that with trackpad. But I know that there's like other ways I should just like practice more, like how you showed us to use like the brush and then you like erase part of it and then like move that.
Exactly.
Sorry, was it?
Yeah. So it's fun being able to distort the reference, add it to the image to set the layout. Yeah, it was a great idea to skew thing. Blocking shape is pretty okay with the trackpad. I never tried the trackpad. So need to maybe make more detail.
Yeah, I think
sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm just more used to it than the mouse. I think.
Doing more detailed renderings a little difficult. Yeah, but the difficulties make it more fun to not have to worry about making it perfect. Yeah. Yeah, good point here. But yeah, again, as you say, this is practice. Like once you have this base, you just need to practice so you know where you can kind of destruct the base so you can go into detail. And again, sometimes a production can ask you a simple style like this one, and simplicity is not the easiest thing to do. So this is great, really. This is cool. The modeling is also the worst part for me, especially in dealing with topology, but I really like doing lighting too. Okay, so this is a thing. Okay. It takes me so much time sometimes to figure out how to create that or the other shape using tool. Oh, you mean to create that kind of render using tools and not use, I mean, like using the mouse or using tools instead of the stylus. This is what you're saying, Max? Yep. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah. It's probably because as Leon and Raphael, you're just more into pencil stuff. So you're used to it. And like when I need the particular curve, yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. And this one was a grease pencil, and I have a video for this. Okay. I'll let you go over this and explain me everything.
So this one I tried to draw it like in a weird way. So like you know that artist Deduze? He does like the blue and pink and yellow drawings.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to do it kind of his method, but I think he does things kind of like more 3D than this. I was trying to keep it like a flat drawing. Didn't use any of the old like models from this. I just had like the picture of it. But there's one video in there you can kind of see like where it's messed up. Or if you scroll to the right, you can see like the
Is
layer.
it this one? No, not this one. The other one?
Yeah,
This
it's
one?
like the one where it moves. Yeah, so it looks fine from the front, and then when you turn it, you can kind of see like
Oh, I
lines.
see.
Yeah, it's like drew it over the front of it. Some of it I had to draw like the different planes. I kind of got like just lazy doing it. I was like, well, I don't want to model it again. I just want to draw it. So yeah, I think this process could work. But I feel like maybe just using like primitive shapes and then drawing over it would be better. Because the fun part came doing like the color variations in the lines and like some of the lighting and everything. But it was like by the time I got there, I was like, well, it's kind of like not really 3D enough, and it's not 2D enough either. So I don't know. It's just kind of fun to try this though. But I think this could be some kind of cool style, like with a little bit of tweaking. Yeah, I guess with all of these two, I was trying to keep it pretty similar. So I was trying to draw like the same angle of everything. But the way that the process worked, it was like the look of it just like changed a lot with each one.
Yeah. Yeah, this is really the idea again. Like depending on the object, depending on the angle, depending on a lot of stuff, you might have to change your process. And this is the reason why I wanted you to do that type of exercise. Because if you're able to use different process to adapt to several art direction, then you're able for each problem to have a solution basically. So this is really great. Whoa. Okay, I don't understand anything of this, but looks great.
So the top one is just like each color is like a color swatch basically.
Okay.
And then the second one, it just shows like the layers. So like each object is its own layer, but it's all just like one 3D object. But
Okay.
But they're painted in different parts of the 3D plane.
Okay.
So that was just kind of to show this. And then the top view, you can kind of see how things are like messed up. But
Okay, I see. Okay, let me just go through it really quick. Yeah, okay, this is what you say. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. It was a really great process to test. Oh yeah, and this one is in Eevee Paint. Okay. And I have a video for this.
Yeah, it's just
Okay, this is really quick.
well, it's not a real time lapse. The way Heavy Paint works is like it exports like the layer order.
Okay.
So it's going from like the bottom layer to the top, but it's not.
Okay.
It's not really.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to talk about it, feel free.
So this one was more like yeah, it felt more like using real paint. I mean, that's what I like about Heavy Paint. It's like the limitations of it kind of feel like real paint. And it doesn't give you a lot of layers, so you kind of have to like think more about like how you're painting stuff. But I did max out the layers in this one though. But I still was trying to get like the lighting and some stuff kind of the same as like the 3D rendering, because it had like kind of realistic lighting and like the glow and the bloom and everything. So I was like, how can I try to recreate that in here? I know like the tile floor is like more kind of cartoony, but I wanted to at least get like some of the colors accurate. So like the top of it is like a little more purple, the front is like more red. Because I had in 3D I had lights kind of like pointing those directions. But yeah, that was also like my challenge to try to keep it at least like similar enough and like that way and not like totally cartoon it. But yeah, that was also the hard thing for me, because like I'm trying to improve on that, like on the painting side anyway.
Yeah, you did great on this one. And Eevee Paint is not an easy app. I mean, when you use it for the first time, I know it can be difficult to use it because the tools are different, the way of painting can be different. So yeah. Okay, let me read your notes really quick as well. Get distracting, trying out many brushes. Is at the tip of just sticking to one brush. Oh yeah, and they also have like some grid brush with like color dynamic on it. So your painting kind of feel more lively. So this is great. Fun to use, but difficult. It feels more like using a real paint. Yeah. And yes, this is unforgiving. Can change match. And yes, that the brush helps you to really have this texturing aspect. So this make it a bit more easy. Yeah.
Oh, one thing that helped a lot was like your tip about you said like sometimes when you do studies you'll just like pick a brush and just use that one.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I've tried using Heavy Paint, especially if I don't use it for a long time, like Vaughn will just like he makes like so many new things so quickly that I'm just like, oh, there's all these new brushes and new features. And I'll spend like an hour, like I'm planning to paint for an hour, and I spend an hour just like playing with brushes, and I don't paint anything. And I'm just like, oh, that's kind of a waste of time. So this time I was using like that fan oil brush. And I was trying to like find something else. I was like, oh, I shouldn't do that. I should just like keep using this brush, because then it gives it like look. So that actually helped a lot to like kind of just keep the momentum going of this one, rather than like getting distracted with like the UI and like playing with the app itself.
Yeah, it was a great idea. I mean, you can like take some time and be like, oh, I want to test all the setting and test the brush. But when you need to really go into your painting, at least to me, this is really useful to be like, okay, I want to go for this brush. Because maybe it's very old school to say that, but I think I mean, as long as your fundamentals are great, and no matter the brush you're using, you're gonna do a great painting. So this is also a challenge to me as well, since I still need to work on my fundamentals. I try to not rely too much on brushes. So I'm like, okay, you know what, we'll pick this brush and I will do everything with it, even if the brush is a bit weird. And so I have to be sure and to double check all the time if my fundamentals are great, because any brush is gonna save my ass. So yeah, this is something cool I like to do.
Yeah, I actually think that sometimes I'll get frustrated like not understanding the fundamentals well, and then something like Heavy Paint or even Photoshop with all the brushes, I'll distract myself by playing with the brush, and it's like, then I don't have to like focus on how bad my fundamentals are at the time. So doing it like now I have to like make sure I learn it. So it seems like that's a good mentality to do next time too.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but I think a lot of us tend to try to find a cheat code kind of behind the brushes. So when you struggle to do something or when your painting does not look the way you want, you're like, oh, maybe a brush can do the work for me. Maybe my grass can be so good if I use a brush. But in the end, if the color of your grass and the lighting on it is not good, no matter the brush you're using, it's gonna look shitty. So this is something I went through as well, like trying to find a cheat code, spending and wasting several hours just finding a magic tool to solve the thing. But in the end, the magic tool was learning and practice. But yeah, once you know it, you don't lose any time anymore. You're just like, okay, I need to work on these fundamentals. I need more reference because I don't understand it. But yeah, I think we all go through this stage. Okay, and this one was a watercolor. This is really great.
Cool, thank you. Oh, it's actually gouache, but it's like watercolor gouache. But I tend to use acrylic and gouache like as if it is watercolor. I don't really ever use it when it's like super thick. I just always like water it down.
Okay.
I'm just more used to watercolor, I guess.
This is really, really great. You did amazing. The color are so great. This this is like an anime vibe. I like it.
I was looking at this book. I'll show it in the chat. It's this guy, I think he's like Polish or something, but he worked with like Ghibli and like Makoto Shinkai, and like he had like this book. It's like all these like Tokyo night paintings, and they're all like insane watercolors. So yeah, that guy. Yeah, sorry, I don't know where he's from, but yeah, his paintings are just so good. And I was like, okay, how does he do that? Like, can I try to copy that style? It's a little cleaner, like the last person that did watercolor. I like doing that kind of thing too, but it's like, to me, it's like kind of harder because you're kind of like throwing paint around everywhere. This one is like more careful, I guess. And I was trying to make it look like the reference, so I was trying to do it that way. So.
But yeah, your color are great, your shape are great. Yeah, I think this one is one of the best one, really. I mean, I like the style as well. So again, I'm not really neutral on this one as well. Yeah, this one is really cool. The color are really amazing. I like that not everything is completely filled. Yeah, it works really great. Yeah, so there is no undo. You know what would be maybe interesting to do this in traditional and then put it on digital and see what you can refine in digital to do a mix. I never tried this. Again, I don't know if it's something that could work or if this is just horrible to do this. I don't know. Just me thinking about too much stuff. But yeah. So no undo, or to get the perspective correct without spending a lot of time on the drawing. Yeah. Oh, and I saw in your story that you have like kind of a magic tool for perspective. I never saw that before. Yeah, you have it.
Right here. It's called a 10-point divider.
Okay.
This thing is like so like this thing.
Okay, and how do you use this? Sorry, I'm really curious.
Oh, so basically like, so if like this is the canvas, so like see these little points, like the side of my screen would be like the canvas. So like I have these points here, and if you want the vanishing points to go like that, so you count, like put 10 little dots here, and then you go to the other side, and then you expand it, and then you draw the dots here, and then you just like connect them.
Okay.
As if your point is like way over there, and you don't have room to like draw a vanishing point. And a lot of comic artists that I've known, like they use this, and they told me about it. And I've seen people do it. It's good for like 3-point perspective, or just like very like wide angle perspective, or when the perspective is not a wide angle view, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, I see. Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, someone in the chat is asking the name of this incredible object. If you can put it in the chat. Ten-point divider. Okay, this is amazing. This is cool because I'm learning a lot thanks to all of you. This is so cool. Okay, so how to get the perspective correct without spending a lot of time on the drawing. Again, I think this is more about practice. I know some people are really fast to do the perspective with pencil. Usually I feel like painting in real life that I get to a point where I should probably stop, or else I will overwork the painting. That will get muddy, but it doesn't. Okay. I feel like I need to plan out the color in advance much more. Yeah. Which will be good practice for digital too. Yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely traditional. There is no undo, and I mean, if you're using old painting, you can undo and redo all the time. I mean, redo and redo all the time. I think this is the reason why I like oil better than any other traditional medium. But yeah, traditional is really a good way to improve our fundamental. In our current days, we are used to digital because this is what production want us to do. I mean, most part of the time. But I think traditional is a really great addition. We should keep practicing because this is something that will make our digital painting way better, I think. So you did really great by testing this. And you
Cool.
did amazing.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, I really like trying all these different processes out. I don't know, it just seems like that's kind of like my thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so fun and that's really great. But yeah, really, really great work. Thank you so much.
Cool, thank you.
Okay, I saw all your videos. Yes, okay. Then I have Natalie, if you are here. Maybe not. And if you have any connection issue, Natalie, just message me later so we can come back to you. Okay, and Jacob is offering a demo using using the magic tool in the Discord later, which is really great. Okay, so Natalie, if you come back later, just tell me. So what I'm gonna do, since I have a few homeworks missing, I'm gonna go into my spectator folder. Just give me a few seconds. Laurel, are you here or not? Because I saw that you did a lot. Yeah, hey.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Good.
Okay, cool. And I see that you did something a bit in advance. But it's because you're used to my process. You're cheating.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So how was the week for you?
Good. I mean, I'm used to doing a lot of different things just because my job, sometimes we get 3D that's fully textured, sometimes we just get gray. I've gotten stock photos to draw on before, so I'm used to doing the variety of things and I really like it.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Okay, so general references, ground train platform. Okay, so the number one was this one, painting with the mouse. Okay, so this one, yeah, okay. Painting with the mouse, focusing on bead shape, can be generated with the lasso and shape tool, design custom shape brushes for repeating shapes elements. And you're going to this one. Okay, so yeah, if you want to go over it, and I will read after your notes.
Yeah. It wasn't too dissimilar from what I normally do because I normally use a lot of selections, but I've never done it entirely with the mouse. So I think I was a little bit slower, but maybe made up with that and being more intentional with shape placement, which I think was a good thing overall. So I was thinking maybe it'd be good to do this for more of the blocking process and then later switching to the stylus when it gets to more the specific shapes and textures.
Yeah, this is what I like to do.
Yeah.
Like I do my blocking only with the mouse, so I can really only think about my contrast between my big shapes, like my round shapes and my rectangle and my triangle. And since these are only primitive shapes done with my tools, I draw everything with my mouse. And then when doing the rendering, I try to use a bit more my stylus now. so I can have this good balance between something maybe a bit more organic and pencil-y, but I still have an overall strong shape silhouette with great shape contrast, basically.
Okay.
I love this brush. I don't know if it's the triangle one with the texture, but this one is my favorite.
Yeah.
This is like easy detail. I really love it. Okay, so let's go through this. Isn't it this similar from the paint-oriented method? Yeah, of course. Limitation of the mouse force you to be more decisive. This is what you said. Curious how this could apply to the entire of the painting process. Yeah, you need to test. I did a lot of painting with only the mouse. And again, you know what? This is what forced me to design my texture, actually. Like, I had to do the entire texture with the mouse. So I was really designing shapes and doing bold choices to design my texture. And in the end, I was like, okay, this is so cool. My texture feels way more like well arranged, I would say. I don't know how to really explain this properly, but then I was like, okay, this is a good thing. I can create shape while texturing and not just throw texture and be like, okay, this is concrete. Okay, now I can really design my concrete. So yeah, maybe you should try to see what you can come up with.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's strength shine in the blocking stage in order to get sense of a finish. Yes. This is great for graphic design, maybe as well. Force you to be better structured in your painting in terms of value, shapes, color. Yes, this like blocking process, you really need to be kind of accurate in your local color, because if you're not accurate enough, you might end up being like frustrated because you're like, oh, this is going nowhere. The color not great, the shape or like too flat, and you're like, panic mode. So yeah, you need to be kind of accurate already with your colors, so you can be like, oh, okay, I'm doing great, I can continue on this, instead of just putting it in the trash folder. So yeah, I feel this. So yeah, great for blocking in shape, hard surfaces, losing in speed, have to be more precise, result in a lot of crispiness. Yes, helps you think in terms of large shape, keep you on the surfaces of a painting, force you to be further away from the screen. Yes. Yeah, I don't like Cintiq monitor. Pierre is using one. I can't. I don't know, like the texture of it, I can't. But yeah. Slower than painting with stylus. Yeah, again, depending on people. I'm slower with the stylus because I try to have the perfect shape from the tool, but I just can't. You will see it in the demo I did for today. Like, I'm doing my photo bash and then I try to sketch some stuff very quickly, and I'm a mess. This is horrible, but I was like, this is fun to show you this as well. Potential long-term and voice pan. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like, some people told me that using the mouse was better for the wrist. So yeah, maybe you have a like huge mouse. I don't know.
Yeah, I tried it with 2 different ones, and I don't know. I think my wrist is just always messed up. So.
Oh, okay.
But,
okay.
Yeah, that's why I was like, maybe do it just for the block in, and then that way it's not the entire process. So it's kind of going in between the two would be nice.
Yeah. And very digital look. Yeah, could be a good thing, but again, depending on the direction you want for your painting, but of course, it feels very digital in the end. Okay, so second one. This is good that I can review your work today, because this is really into what I'm gonna show you today. So yeah, process, create a photo bash base that can be used later for painting, combine photo with your online shape to find a good composition. So yeah, this is basically your future homework. So yeah, okay. General thought, I really enjoy doing this, and I think this is something I should try again in the future. Thank you. This is one of my favorite process. I think some people are gonna hate me after this week. Some people just hate this process. Some others will love it.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it before, and I think we have a similar way of thinking. Once it's done, it's kind of then just like a photo study, which I really like. because I'll only
Yeah.
get into all the details for it, but you know, different people have different ways of doing it. So
Exactly. But with this, I'm just like, okay, now I can just take my brain, put it on the side, and be like, okay, this is a study. Let's the fun begin. So it's like kind of deconstructing my work in two steps. Like first thinking of composition, lighting in my photo bash, and then cheating. That's it. So yeah. So yeah, compositional benefit or superior to other method I've tested recently. Interesting to see how this method unfold over the course of a painting. I'm gonna show you everything. How would I have like color and fill in the detail missing from the photo bash? Yeah, we're gonna talk about this until the end of the class because we're gonna do a painting all together. Oh yeah, anxiety-free process, exactly, because this is what I need. Okay, so great at helping you set up a realistic painting. Searching for reference exposes you to new ideas, detail that you wouldn't think of yourself. Good for capturing sense of realism. Yes, and you have to look at a lot of reference. So it forces you to go and like look for a lot of references, create mood boards, so you can't escape the reference part, and this is great. Good at helping you establish a strong composition early in the process. Yes, and it also helps you to already have a feeling of a finished painting, so you can already imagine the final image. So it could be great. Fast way to test many ideas. Yeah. Count how to get a consistent color palette. Perhaps you could use adjustment value for this. Yes. Can be hard to break away from the composition of the final base image. Need to be careful about creating an original painting and not an indirect copy. Exactly. Yeah, I'm 100% agree with you. This is practice, and this is the reason why I like to paint on top of my photo bash sometimes, because you can have all the elements you want in just with the photo bash. Sometimes you just need to go and paint on top of it so you can have really what you have in your mind. And yes, of course, you need to be careful to not use too much of some of the pictures, so you just recreate the same image. But yeah, this is practice. But yeah, this is great. Okay. Collage texture. Okay, so you use a collection of painted scanned texture to create, and then the painting refine the big texture into final shape. This is also working for creating brushes. Basically, you can just sketch brushes and then you scan them and then you create brushes. This is really great. Okay, so this is what you did here. If you want to talk a bit more about what you did, okay.
yeah, I've used this before, but I haven't done it for a while. Basically, I tend to start with like smaller shapes when I should be working more big to small. So by taking like a texture and using that as a basic kind of, you don't get as much control over it. So it kind of, you have to manipulate that into the forms, which I found is helpful, at least for the way I approach painting. I don't know if it necessarily worked as well for the tests I did this week, but I have had success with it before. So.
Okay. Okay, so really great way to paint something fast, but it does like precision. Yes, as someone who's really hesitant with their mark making, it helps to get an initial base of big bold stroke that can be manipulated better later. Sorry, I'm curious how it could adjust the process to account for different material and way of rendering the different texture. Yep. Sorry, I'm thinking at the same time.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, this is something that can be break into like, you know what, maybe could be cool to do a mix between like you're doing your first texture shape with the mouse, so you have something really strong. Then you put this collage texture inside it, and then you erase a little, so you can maybe have this mix with strong shape and collage texture, and maybe it can create something interesting. Again, just thinking. Don't know if it end up with something cool or a disaster. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so very fast way to get a base for painting, feels less empty than just blocking shape. Yeah, can be a great thing to just avoid anxiety. Even if it's not the final texture, you just put it on the Canva and you're like, okay, I will do this later, and it frees some space in your brain. It kind of remove the anxiety and you're done. I see some people at work doing this. I mean, maybe not for this specific reason, but just to set a bit more the painting, they throw some texture here and there, just so the painting can feel more crisp and finished. So you can feel better as well. You're like, okay, this is a bit more finished. I know where I'm going. So yeah, this is a great idea. Encourage a lot of happy accident, yes, and leads to new way of rendering surfaces that you wouldn't usually think of. Yeah, I agree. Keeps you zoomed out, focus on big picture, which is a great thing. Like as much accuracy as adding texture intentionally surfaces by surface. Yeah, okay. Texture can start to look repetitive. Yes. Doesn't help differentiate between different surfaces. Yep, I agree. And I think this idea of texturing inside shapes could help with this to avoid the repetitive look, maybe.
Yeah.
Textures can also start to look blurry if they aren't at high resolution. Yes, you need to find high quality texture or paint them yourself. Might take more time until you have a texture library. Yes, we also talked about that during our mentorship session. It's maybe a bit early in the week, but I can show you something really quick. Let me have a look at my folders. Where it is. Okay, here. This is not my entire library, but I like to have some texture library like this. Can be for painted bricks, can be for my glitch color thing you already saw. It was another thing I was using to do bricks as well. Now I'm using custom brushes. Something like this that you can use in overlay to create easy brush stroke in an empty wall, for example, something like this. So yeah, I like to have a lot of PNG texture. So this is something that takes some time to do, of course, but you create them with the production you're doing or with your personal needs, personal work. And this is something really great to do because the more you do it, the more you have a big library and the more you can put it in your painting easily and then be faster at painting. So yeah, this is great. Okay, and the last one was Google Earth screen caps. So you look for reference from Google Earth as a base, manipulate and sketch on top as necessary to find a good composition, like a photo bash, but stick to one ref more closely. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty similar. I guess the idea with that is it's not necessarily like a copyrighted picture. So you could more just trying to find the good composition from it than anything else.
Okay. Value adjusted for clearer contrast. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, so compared to the photo bash process, this became more about manipulating a single image to have a good composition. Yeah, this is a great exercise for composition. This is obviously just a base for painting, of course. This particular subject matter was also a hard choice. There are very few Google Earth location spots on actual train platforms. Yes.
Yeah.
I think this is better suited for general street view. I had to paint a platform like this, and yes, you don't have a lot of reference. I mean, you do have a lot of references on Pinterest and stuff like this, but they're pretty generic and they have a lot of filter on top of it. So if you want to create something out of it, this is really difficult, or you will end up just with something generic. And yeah, on screen screen caps, but this no, screen cap. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's like really difficult. Okay, so perfect for real life location, good for places you haven't been before, but want to understand better. Yes, I agree. Fast way to gather and manipulate reference, faster than a full photo bash, of course. Not good for any subject matter outside real life, fantasy. Yes, SF, of course. I mean, fantasy, why not? Because fantasy is like inspired by real life. So yeah, depending if you're able to just use it as a base and then sketch on top of it. But yeah, how to get a good sense of color. Often Google's lighting has a look of sameness. Yes, and the lens as well can be pretty distorted. So if you don't have your fundamentals in perspective, you might copy some stuff that are not good in your final image because you just copy like the lens distortion. So yeah. Reference photos are sometimes blurry, leaving gaps to fit in. I'm not sure it's a con. Like, to me, this is a good thing. It just helps to practice. It's like, okay, this is blurry. I will put my own stuff in it. So yeah, it's a con if you really want to have something blocked everywhere. But if you're okay to paint over it, then it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you did really great. This is really cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, do I have one more work in the Discord or not? I'm not sure. Someone with, oh, maybe I have Cassandre. I see a lot of stuff. I don't know if you're here. Trying to see if I have someone from the spectator tier. No? Okay. So you know what? Maybe we can take a break, a 10-minute break, and then I will talk about my process. And if Natalie come back, we can talk about what she did. Is it okay for you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. See you in 10 minutes.
See you.
More or less. It's okay, Natalie, no worries. We are in break. I mean, I think we'll start soon and I will review your work. No worries.
Yeah, my internet went out, and then I was like, oh no! And so I ran to go punch my router for a couple of minutes.
I knew it. No worries at all.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
Of course. Again, I'm used to it. Like I'm working on my phone internet connection, so
Yeah, sometimes, when my internet's really good, and I'm like, yay, I'm really happy. And then sometimes it's really, really bad. And then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I guess I get what I paid for. Oh man.
it's okay.
It's funny because it has like it was the other day I had like a Zoom meeting for my thesis and it just went out in the middle of it with my meeting and I was like, oh.
Oh no. Happened to me as well. No worries. We're all in the same boat. It's fine. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like everyone around me has an incredible internet connection. They are living in the NASA. I don't know. And
Yeah.
me, it's a mess all the time. I'm fighting to have a
Yeah.
great connection. I'm spending like wasting too much time calling every like internet company and be like, please do something. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's a mess.
No, that's so frustrating.
Yes, it is.
And my suggestion, punch the router. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I tried to do this as well with my Photoshop when it was not working. But yeah, not sure it's a good thing to do. I think I'm gonna wait 2 more minutes. I understand this all
No
too
problem.
well. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just waiting so I can make sure everyone is here because I don't remember when we took the break exactly. But yeah, let's wait 2 more minutes.
Yeah.
Just in case. But yeah, Laurel, I think you remember sometime when we had to call together, my internet was a mess. It was lagging so much. But yeah.
Mine's usually terrible. I think it's been okay for a while, but I have the same thing like everywhere I've moved. It's always bad. Everyone else's is
Okay.
fine.
You know what? This is maybe selfish, but thank you. I don't feel alone anymore.
No, I don't understand.
Yes, my friend have all good ping and stuff, and there is me. So yeah, you're not alone, Natalie. We are all the same. We just don't have
Yeah.
the good friends, maybe. We need to change the friend. Maybe this is not the internet connection. We did it all wrong since the beginning. Okay, so I think everyone is back and we have your internet, Natalie. So yeah,
Yes.
tell me about your homework, what you decided to do.
So, first one I went very simple. I just used like a round square / rectangle with a little bit of a brush projection on it. And I only took around like 30 minutes and I cut myself off. I was really happy with it. I did another one of like the same reference like a couple like weeks ago, but I decided to redo it because I really like this reference for some reason. So I think I like I don't know, I'm really happy with how I like use the colors and stuff. Because normally I think I overcomplicate, so I think stopping myself really helped.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is great.
then-
I like the color you used. And I like that you try to change the design as well. This is cool. I'm sorry, I just see someone here, but I'm sorry, with maybe a mustache, but it's me. I'm thinking too
I
much.
love that. Mustache.
But sorry, but yeah, this is really great. I like that you changed some of the shape. You changed a bit the perspective as well, because we're supposed to see a bit more under of the roof.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like the simplification. I like the overall shape. It's already an improvement compared to what you did before. So I like it. I like to see the ambience of the sky more than in the reference. And to have a bit more of this yellow-green color from the sunlight. This is great. Maybe we need a bit more blue in the shadow so we can understand the ambient light. This is what we see here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was not the subject of this week. I'm sorry. But yeah.
Thank you. And then the second one, oh, there's a story behind this one.
Okay.
I ordered myself some soup and then it came and it was exploded in the bag. So that's a photo of the soup
Oh
that
no.
exploded. And so for some reason, I think I like that image because it's kind of sad. So then I kind of put it through the reference through like a little editor, and I put like the little posterization, whatever it's called, up. And then I tried to like basically I only used the lasso. I used a grain brush and I just used like a very subtle like rake tools, and that was it. And I also cut myself off after like I think it was 45 minutes, because I know that if I give myself too much time, I go too much. I overwork things. So
yeah.
I really like this one though. I'm happy with how I somehow did the colors in some of the places.
Yeah, just be careful with the perspective. But yeah, again,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
another subject. And I remember this is something you need to work on your vision in the space, basically.
Yeah, I really struggle with that. Like, I don't know. Sometimes, like, I get it, and then sometimes I don't. So I need to
Yeah.
work on it a lot more. But sometimes it's like this, like, I'm okay with perspective, but it's like when I'm looking at references, it's understanding how those references play into the perspective.
Yeah, you just need practice. Again, practice from real life, so you can really see the same object in different angle and try to draw it
Yeah.
over and over, so you can get it. The most part of the time, when one time you have it good and one time is not, like one time is
Yeah.
wrong, it's just because the fundamental is not quite there yet. So you need to practice more, basically.
Yeah.
These are like really real happy accident. It's like, yes, you did it great, but you don't really know why, So
Yeah.
it's just because you need a bit more practice. But it's already getting better about the color, about the shape. So this is cool.
Yay.
Okay, so this one is really amazing.
I did a still life, and I know like that wasn't necessarily part of it, but I did do like a still life of my shoes after I got home from one of my classes, because I don't know, for some reason I was like, I want to draw this. So I did take an hour for this one, and I only used a ballpoint pen.
This is cool.
And yeah.
Yeah, this is really great. And what about using this line? Like you scan it, you put it in Photoshop, and then you paint. Like really, your
Yeah.
line work is great. This is what I was saying to Isabella as well. Try to mix digital media with your traditional skills. Feels like your perspective and volumes are way better with a line art. So maybe try to do a line art before painting, so you can
Yeah.
avoid some perspective issue, because again, this line art is really great and the perspective is good. So maybe this is what you need.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. I mean, this assignment was great because like I feel like I don't normally think about how I make things. Like I don't like put a lot of thought into the process, but now that like I feel like I made like three very different things, and I think they're a bit more unique than like what I normally do.
But yeah, definitely try this. Again, you have an incredible line art. And I think this is not maybe something you're doing consciously, but I think you're thinking more about the structure and about what you're doing, and you construct more the thing when you're doing this line art. So yeah, try to implement it in your digital process, or work traditional, do your line art, scan it, put it on Photoshop or the software you want, and then paint inside it. I'm pretty sure it can help you for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you did really great.
Thank you so much, Lee.
Of course. Okay, I saw some stuff. Other one is Simon Leclerc. What are we talking about here in the chat? Okay, let me open the link. Oh, yes, this thing. Okay. Very curious if it's a mix of traditional and digital. I don't know, to be honest, but probably. I know that now we can fake the traditional in digital. So how to say, yes, it does look like what Milgo does and Vanya Fedorov. Yeah, but Vanya Fedorov is using a lot of texture brush, like he's creating his own brush with a lot of setting to create this kind of traditional feeling. So it's a mix. Looks like that film has been working on how expressive it is. Yeah, curious of their process. Can't figure out how they're doing it without the mix of traditional painting, drawing in animation. Looks really incredible. Yeah, there for the animation, I think, Jacob, I think you're talking about Bird Fishing Gear, the show they're working on. Yeah, Vanya's and George film. Not sure the name. Yeah, Bird Fishing Gear. And I did some background for them, but yeah, these are basically painting the animate, at least for the character. So yeah, I think someone is in charge of the animation. I think this is oh god, I need to remember his name. I'm sorry. GP Sandoval, who is doing the animation of the drawing done by Vanya and George. So yeah. So yeah, let's go into Photobash technique and everything like this. Okay, so you will have the PDF, no worries. This is a brief. I'm French. I like to go to the bakery. So you will have to paint a bakery. I'm sorry. So yeah, these are key points to check that need to be legible and obvious in the final image. So this is not something I'm asking you to have in your sketches, but this is something I want to have in the final. Yay, bakery, yes. So as I told you before, this is not something really strict. This is an overall theme and some key points, but that's it. So an exterior of a bakery, not the inside, really the exterior. I want to understand the time of day. So day, night, sunset, whatever. So basically your lighting scenario. I want to understand the timeline and architecture. Is this bakery set up in our current days? Is it in the past, in the future? Which overall architecture you want to follow or mix? It's up to you. Who owned the bakery? It will influence the overall design of the bakery. So is it a little girl? Is it a family? Yes, I think I was sick. Is it a dinosaur selling dino bread? You can do it as well. I'm fine with this. What is the best seller in this bakery? Because it will also influence the design of the bakery. So is it bunny donuts, a baguette, strawberry baguette, chocolate? You choose. I'm fine with everything. You can go crazy. Who is living around and where is the bakery located? Is it a fancy bakery in a pretty big street? Is it a family bakery in the suburban area where workers like to have their hot baguette after a long day of work? Is it a small bakery in a huge town surrounded by fancy people that contrast with the bakery? Again, you choose, everything is fine. And which overall art direction you want to follow. You don't have to stick to an art direction already created. You can create and follow your own art direction, but I just want you to be consistent in your choices. That's it. So you are free. This is a bakery. I just want to be able to read all of this thing inside it. So do your best bakery. This is one of the mood board I did. So my folders is way worse than that. Let me open the folder really quick. But yeah, I have a folder with a lot of reference. I just picked the one that were the most interesting, basically. So yeah, first you create a mood board. You have all the elements you may need to paint. This is a photo I took near to my house, like maybe 1 hour drive or something. And I truly wanted to do something about this house. So I was like, okay, I will use it in my final painting, that's for sure. And I love the architecture, so I will go for Normandy architecture. This is where I live, and I love the architecture. And I never had the opportunity to draw something like this. I was like, okay, let's do it. Again, you don't have to go for references that are existing photo. Like this thing was a toy or something, and I was like, I like the idea of the house kind of cut it here. Oh, let me go there, sorry. Like the house kind of cut here, and so you can see the wood here. I was like, okay, this is cool, maybe I can do something out of it later. This is near to where I was living a few months ago. So people have a great view on the sea. And I was like, okay, I want something like this for my bakery, because I was like, could be so cool to have a bakery just near to the sea. Could be really enjoyable. I need more reference, but I was like, okay, I want purple and green because these are some great complementary, but I love purple and I never did any personal piece with a lot of purple in it. So I was like, okay, this is my time. I will do this. These are just few elements, but I have more of this that I wanted to incorporate into my bakery. So like this thing, I don't have the name in English. I'm sorry if someone have it. But yeah, I like this thing. So I was like, I want it for my bakery.
I think they're called, I think those are called awnings.
Awnings?
Awnings, like A-U-N. Oh, yeah, that's how you spell it. Yeah.
Awnings. Okay, thank you so much. I'm learning English, thanks to you. So yeah, the billboard in front of it, just to be like, hey, hot baguette are ready for you. So yeah, I was like, I need these things as well. I need this as well, really important, with a crazy name for my bakery and a cute logo with bunny. Just some like window where you can see all the baked stuff. So yeah, I was like, okay, this is the overall idea. This is what I want. These were from other photo. I was like, I like this kind of pavement, and I think I see already the final render I can do on top of this. I love drawing concrete. So yeah, I was like, I want this. I also want this colored stained glass. I'm in love with this stuff. I want this in my future home. And this is the reason why I fell in love with this house, because you have this stained glass here as well. So I was like, oh, this is so cool. I want this for my bakery. This is what I have on top of my house. Actually, this is not a good thing, but this is beautiful. So anyway, I want this for my bakery. And I love crispy texture like this. So let's go for this. These are just some ideas because I wanted to do a mix. Like, okay, my bakery will be a donut bakery, a bunny donut bakery, but the owner loves flower, and maybe the overall city will be built around flower design and stuff like this. And I really like the overall shape of this specific flower. So I just throw some idea here. Love it, this mosaic texture with the flower inside. So I was like, okay, maybe I can design some bunnies as well inside the mosaic. Let's see. Also like it the way that we can decorate the front of the bakery. So not with this specific design, with my own design, of course. Also like the idea of having purple flower on it. So I was like, okay, some cool deco idea. And this is something we also have on top of some building here in Normandy, some mosaic implemented in the structure of the houses. So I was like, okay, I like it as well. So let's go for this. So yeah, it was my mood board. Oh yeah, I forgot this one. I want a lighting more or less like this one. So it's like the golden hour, but I don't want the oversaturated orange one, like the cliche one you see everywhere. So it will be a challenge, but I will try to find a balance to have something cool. But I wanted a purple sunset, like my color palette is purple with the sunset. So I still don't know how I'm gonna manage to do this, but yeah, it's a good challenge anyway. But yeah, this is the mood board. This is something you're gonna have to do, and that will take you some time. But yeah, just again, in case you have PureRef Miro to do your mood board, or you can just use Photoshop as I'm doing here. Up to you, depending what is the more comfortable for you to do. Oh yeah, I have a quick insight thing for you. So just before I show you the process, most part of the time, I prefer to work directly in color, just because color is also an important factor in your composition. So I like to work directly in color. But the thing is, I think there is a lot of good point about starting to work in black and white first. Imagine in production, you're a director, pro designer, or whatever, just don't like the color green, subconsciously or not, and you provide a sketch with a dominant green color. And this overall sketch isn't approved just because the client don't feel it, just because of this fucking green color. Just imagine. So in the end, your design is probably great, but you don't like the color green. So your overall sketch will be a throw out just because of the green. So maybe it would have been different if it was in black and white. So the client can only focus on the overall composition, ideas, design. And then when you have something approved, you can start to do your color iteration on top. And plus, when you sketch in black and white, you free some space in your brain. So it prevents you to think about too many things at the same time, because color is a big thing as well. Because to me, composition, overall design, lighting, this is already enough. So I prefer to have my black and white first and then my color. So yeah, it was just a quick insight of my way of working. Again, I'm not saying that this is what you need to do, but at least to me, it was useful. And yeah, okay, let me open the video. And yeah, this is the photo bash. But yeah, you will see the video. This is very messy. This is not finished at all. There is no real design inside it, but I quite like this bunny anyway. So yeah, I will show you one of my way of working. So I'm not working this way all the time. This is just a funny way to work for me. We talked about this with Laurel just before. So yeah, depending on my needs, depending on the production, depending on a lot of things. So yeah, to me, it's more like, okay, let's think about Photobash as a way to generate quick ideas instead of photobashing to do the final texture and rendering. This is what Raphael did, for example, using Photobash to do the texture. To me, this is not my way to photobash. Photobash is just ideas. So things don't have to be perfect. It's just basically a collage of ideas that will evolve into a better design piece that I will call a layout or background design, you choose. So yeah, basically at this point, you just throw several photos into the Canva that match your needs, and you paint, sketch on top of them to match them together so they can belong to the same world. So yeah, I think you have pretty much everything. Oh yeah, just one more little thing. Usually I don't send my sketch like this to my client, just because this thing to take me like 1 hour, 1.5 hours or something, sometime less, sometime more. So I just prefer to send them the background design or the layout already ready. But yeah, again, depending on production. I'm just waiting impatiently to see the workflow from black and white to color, keeping the value. Yeah, you will see, but it's later in the week. Okay, so where are my folder? Oh, why over here? You're here. The chat is here. Sorry, I need to organize everything. Um, okay. And here you go. You have 1 hour photo bash for you. And of course, as always, if you have any question, you ask me, I can stop the video and I'm reading the chat at the same time. This is a composition grid. You can find it on the internet pretty easily. And I put a black and white filter on top of it so I can use a colored picture without having to care about the color basically. It's like the golden raster grid. Yes, kind of. Oh, and okay, let me come back. This book is your best friend. So if you want to learn more about composition, here you go. I'm curious on how to do. You see me doing the photo bash, so you have it. You will see everything about my way of photo bashing in 1 hour. This book is amazing. Yes, I love this book. And every time I read it, I learn new things. So this is so cool. So you will see I'm going to do a lot of tests, a lot of stuff that are not working. But anyway. Yes, I have the number 2, the one about perspective as well. But yeah, all the books from Ick are incredible. So no sketch for this. Nope, nothing. Only my photo bash. My photo bash is basically my tool to find a composition, to find the proportion, to generate ideas. So yeah, no sketch. And you will see that I'm a mess when I'm working on Photoshop. I'm doing a lot of mistakes with my shortcut. Would you say you're figuring out the composition as you go? Exactly. And it might change based on what you change. Exactly. You have a bunny right here. I'm sorry. Oh, Kaz, I can see your face now. Hey.
Yes, hello. I actually had a quick question, Leah. What kind of brush are you using to get like those really smooth like
I'm
gradients
just
and smudges?
let me pause the video. Can I? Yes, I can. Oh, why? Okay, can you stop? Okay, great. I'm so bad. It's just like I'm just going in the smudge tool. Okay, let's do this. I have a round brush. It's set up at 100%. Most part of the time it's big, but yeah, then I just do my thing.
Oh, so it's just pretty much just a round brush.
Yeah, that's it, depending on where you start to do it, but yeah.
And I guess that like allows you to sort of preserve what's going on in the image without it getting like, because I find that every time I've used a smudgy brush, I've used like textured ones and it gets really muddy and like noisy really quickly. But I've never thought about using it with the round brush.
Yeah, just using with the traditional round brush, so I can just like remove the part that I don't want to see, or just
Awesome, thank you.
Or are you making sure the perspective is correct when I'm combining so many image? I'm putting my perspective right after you will see it. The thing is, I will take one of my image, one of the part in my painting, and I will be like, okay, this is the perspective I'm gonna follow. And then I will adapt all the elements to this perspective. Yeah, maybe I'm just lazy, but yeah, for the for the staircase, I was just like trying to figure out a way to do it really quick. I'm sorry, how did you do that? Okay, let's go back. Okay, maybe too much. Oh, anyway. Maybe I can make the speed less speed. This. Here we go again. Yeah, it's a backflick in Photoshop. Yeah. And the smudge brush. Yeah. It will be really slow, but you will be, oh no, it's maybe too slow. Oh yeah, you have it anyway. Yeah, let's make it slow just for this one. I can't, I'm sorry. Let's go for this at least. So I'm using the smudge tool in big. Then I'm like, okay, I have my stair from front. I erase it. And then I'm like, I want the same one on the other side. So I will just duplicate it, flip it, and I put my gizmo where I want to flip my image. And then ta-da, you have it. That's it. Let's come back to this. Leah, how many elements do you think are needed so as not to make the composition too confusing? Depending on your image, on what you want to do, you need to test to know that basically. When you get confused, remove some stuff, redo. This is testing. Do you paint anything in the photo bashing stage? Yes, I do. And again, depending on the image. So what are you saying is get the ink book? Yes. And Jacob, I highly recommend, of course. But yeah, you will see that I'm using a lot of references, and then I'm like, no, it's not working altogether. The image become too confusing, and then I'm like, I need to remove some of these references because this is not what I want to go for. So yeah. Are you coloring this work in the end, or is it all black and white? I will, yes. Like for today, I show you the photo bash. I ask you to do a few photo bash. The week after, I will do my layout background design. So I will basically paint everything on top of my photo bash, so I can really design each element with no photo involved. And then I will do the final render and put it in color. So yeah. But for now, it's all black and white. I really try to do it step by step so you can see everything and work at the same time as me. Oh, is the idea behind this bakery is that we do this wing only in black and white and then evolve to have a final bakery painting by the end of the course? Exactly. But I will explain the homework at the end of the session. But yeah, again, basically, we do the photo bash for this week. The week after, we do the layout and background design, still in black and white. And then we do the color. So at the end of the class, you have a final painting, basically. Is the bakery only going to be black and white this week? Yes. how did you make that mask on the bakery layer? I see you painting the part you deleted earlier. Oh, yeah. Let me go into Photoshop. Let's say that I have this oops, sorry, what am I doing? Okay. Yep, sorry, right here. You have this little thing that will create a mask. So you can paint in like it depends on the gray you're using. Yep, let's put the color here. So if I paint in black, it will oh yeah, sorry, I have this. My bad. But yeah, it will erase it. And then if I paint in white, ta-da, it will reappear. So it's a way to erase your painting without really erasing it. Let's go back to this. Again, this is a smudge tool. At this stage, you don't worry about quality of the image, dimension between them, or grain, noise management, nothing like that. Yes, exactly. I don't care about anything. This is a sketch. I just want to generate ideas. So I don't care about the resolution. I don't care about anything. I will paint everything in the end without any photo in the final render. So I don't care. And I don't want to spend like my entire life finding the perfect photo reference with the perfect resolution. But again, this is a process I kind of created for me, like just because this is something that's with what I like to do. So yeah. And you can see there is a reflection inside the window of the building you have on the other side. So I will have to manage this as well in the final. Yeah, coming from digital matte painting, it's something we worry, of course. Totally off-topic question. Leah, do you think you will ever use EA for this ID creation process instead of Photobash? To be honest, not yet. Like, okay, maybe it can be a tool in the future. I don't know. But right now, I don't think so. There is too many ethical problem in it, and I don't want to be part of it. Plus, I really like to generate my ideas like this. Like, I really like the idea of the thinking process behind. So if I generate ID with EA, I don't do the work of putting photo that I like together to try to find something, you know? So yeah, the thing is with this process, I can just generate my own ID with the photo I like. So there's really a purpose behind each ID. I really think about the final design. So yeah, not really sure I'm gonna use EA. Again, I'm not in the future, so I don't want say something wrong and see me using EA like in 20 years. I don't know, but yeah. So it's like more control over the image. Exactly. Because I know which specific things I want for my final painting. So again, it's more like a reminder and a keyword for me. I'm like, oh, okay, I want stained glass. So I will take this ref and put it here. And I like this shape here. So this is something I want to keep in my final. So, okay, let's do this as a reminder of something to design later and something to finish later in my process. And yeah, I just like the creative process behind this. And I would say the emotion involved in it, because again, one of these main reference is a picture I took outside of a house I really love. And this is not something I can have if I generate it, because again, this is a house, a specific house in Normandy, and I think there is no photo of this house on the internet. So yeah. No EA, no music, only pure Leah, Thug, and ID. Exactly. this is the idea. The stained glass windows are very cool. Yes, they are. I need to design my own. I don't want to keep the same design because again, I don't want to steal anything from any photo. So I need to redo the entire design. And I also think that while you do things, the process itself helps to come up with new ideas. Exactly. And this is what I like about this process. This is like the kind of happy accident you create, and you'll be like, oh, this is cool if I do this. Okay, let's try to build something over this. And yeah. And also much more fun. Yeah. This is another topic, but to me, EA is just something like for people who want fast reward, just because we are living in a world where people just need attention. Thank you, social media. So they are seeking validation and approval from people all the time because of like trauma they got in their childhood or anything, I don't know. And they're not able to overcome this, and then they need approval from people they don't know on the internet, and they're like, hey, see the beautiful thing I made, but I didn't do anything. Hey, but please say beautiful thing about me and a lot of compliments. So yeah, I think this is something a lot more psychological than we think. So yeah, I really don't want to be part of this. Since I just enjoy the process. And maybe I will say something weird, but I like to do a lot of mistake. I like that my life is a mess a lot of time, and that I have to face a lot of challenge because it helped me grow as a human. So yeah, I think I want to make my mistake. I want to do horrible painting. So yeah. I worry about companies wanting to cut the cost. You know what? I don't. They want to cut the cost? That's fine. I don't want to work with them. So I'm happy they are not hiring me. Because if you just worry about the money and not about what you're doing, then I don't want to work with you. Leah, are they already using EA in concept stage or Bluescale period on production? I mean, on the production I'm working on, no, but probably on some production. Again, maybe EA can be a great tool in the future with some great rules set up. I don't know, maybe. And I'm pretty sure a lot of companies are using it already. And since a lot of time before we started to really talk about this subject on social and everything, so yeah, for sure, but not on the production I worked on. But again, could be a great tool in the future if used in a good way. Maybe if used with your own painting or stuff like this. Again, I don't know, and I think I'm not the like the best people, the best want to talk about this because I need a lot more information to understand how everything is working about EA. But yeah. Oh, and just to come back to something we said before, like I worry about company wanting to cut the cost. Most part of the time, I prefer to work with a company that will maybe pay less because they don't have the money, etc. But the project is amazing, and it's everything about doing amazing art. And I prefer this. Like, okay, yes, I need to pay the bill. It's great if I can do both, like do amazing art and be well paid. This is what we're supposed to do. But you know what? When I'm working on Jibaro, they don't have a big budget, so I'm not paid the same way I'm paid while working for Sony. But I take it anyway because the project is amazing, the team is amazing, and we are doing art. Like I'm doing what I want to do. So yeah. I agree that I don't want to work with those who use EA, but I just think about artists who lost their job because CEO wants to get everything. The thing, it's not like I don't want to work with company using EA. This is too general because again, maybe some company use it in a good way. Again, I don't know. The thing is more like I don't work with a company who where then mindset is only toward money and that's it. This is just not the good mindset to me. But yeah. But yes, of course, I mean, companies are still business, so they care a lot about money. So if they can cut something to do some benefit, they will do it. As a student who is about to graduate into the job market, I'm very, very scared. I understand, but you know what? I think we got kind of this issue all the time with maybe different tools and stuff like this. So I just think that like, okay, EA will happen and is happening. So there will be some big change in the industry, that's for sure. We will have to adapt in a way, but this is what we had to do all the time. This is what we have to do in a lot of jobs. This is not only related to our specific industry. So I think we'll overcome it, to be honest. Again, maybe I'm just used to face a lot of bad stuff in my life. I don't know. But I'm just like, it's okay. We will do it. As long as we like what we're doing, we'll do it. I mean, this is life. You have to overcome a lot of stuff. But yeah. Talking to some industry professional about these crazes, and they say the same thing. It happened from time to time in animation. Eventually things go back to normal. To me, it's like everything. It's like let's say this is an example. Let's say, okay, everyone go for EA. They will all do EA stuff. But yeah, okay, they will all do the same game and the same animation things because everything will look the same. And then they will maybe lost a lot of viewer and a lot of things because people are not interested about seeing the same thing over and over. And then they're like, oh, we need artists back. And then we're going to hire artists back again. So, and it's the same for a lot of subject to me. It's like everything needs to go into the extreme before going back to normal. And it's like, this is like the pirate boat you have at Disneyland and something like this. I see the life like this to me. This is maybe something weird to say, but yeah. And I think things are not gonna be back to normal. Like, I mean, things will change for sure. It will never be like normal, because I mean, first, I don't know what is normal. And yeah, of course, we will face some changes, but we'll just overcome it as we did all the time in every job. So yeah. Not weird to say at all. I agree with you. Okay, cool. Yeah, I maybe I don't have the words I need in English to explain everything, but yeah. To me, my life is Disneyland, I see my life as Disneyland. It's like a roller coaster all the time. Like if you're on top of the mountain, then you need to, so yeah, this is the same thing. My professor who was old said that it was the same situation for them back when digital art came along, and there was a huge panic. At the end of the day, you either learn to work around it and adapt to it. Either way, it doesn't change where you stand as an artist. Exactly. You know what? I think we are just afraid of changement. Basically, we are just human. We are afraid of changement, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Especially since when the EA starts scraping generated image, it causes problem for the system already. Yeah, it does. But yeah, maybe it will be a tool in few years. Maybe artists will have royalties on the work used to generate EA. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But I will just continue to work the way I like, because this is the reason why I started to do this job. And yeah, we'll see. And you know what? If I can't, I will just go live in Japan and maybe open my own bakery and sell some donuts. I'm fine with this as well. As long as I can be happy with my husband, I'm okay. And a great thought, we can use the thought time to become the best artist we can. Exactly. Let's be honest. I like that I had to go through really rude time in my life. I mean, in my personal life, in my work life, because I learned a lot. So yes, this is a good thing. You've already got the bakery design here. Yes. I'm ready to build my house in Japan and sell some donuts. Same plan, Leah, but with farming. Yes. The US Animation Union tag is also pushing for EA production in their next deal. I don't know if that gives anyone further peace of mind. Okay. Which is great. Me, but with a florist. Yes, that's great. But yeah, don't take life too seriously. There is so many ways to be happy. Question totally unrelated to the theme of this week. Let me know if you can answer it today, Leah. I was curious about how your usual work day on a project goes. They give you ref and you paint, or okay, they give you ref and you paint, or their regular meeting, brainstorming session too. Every project is different, but still would love to hear about your experience. Just really interested so I can better paint the job of background visual artist in my head. Right now at Sony, when we were in Blue Sky, it was just like, okay, you read the entire script of the movie, and then they're like, okay, I need this location, so you have the script. They gave me a PDF with some references of what they had in mind, and then you do everything with a blank page. And I still have 3 meetings per week, one on Tuesday, one on Thursday, for checking, basically, so they can see my updates and be like, oh, okay, we want more this and this, so basically giving feedbacks. And on Friday we have a director meeting, so basically with the director, so I can review the work of the entire team and see how it goes and if it follows what they are looking for. So yeah, and again, depending on production, as you said, sometimes they can just send me a 3D base. If this is like for a trailer, for example, they're like, oh, okay, this is the concept that was approved, these are the color theme, this is the character that we're gonna put in the trailer. Here is a 3D base, you need to adapt the style, and now you paint, and like, yeah, maybe you can send an update every day or every 2 days, again, depending on the production. So this is something I like to set up at the beginning as well. I'm like, oh, okay, so this, for example, it's a trailer, they asked me to do a few image. I'm like, oh, okay, so I think this image should take me, let's say, 3 days, but I will send you an update after the first sketch, and then an update like the second day, so you see how it goes in terms of color palette, and then I send you the final so I can have feedback in between each step. So yeah, depending. And right now at Sony, I'm painting on top of layouts that someone else did because we are working great together. So basically he's doing the layout, so the sketch and a few ID for the design, but everything in black and white. And then they send me the layout and I need to do the final render and the color and lighting on top of it. And I need to also design more the thing on the image so I can make them work together. So this is what I'm doing currently. So yeah, and when again, I have my checking twice a week, so they can give me feedback. And when the image is ready, they show it to the director. But the layout is already approved before by the director, before I can have my hands on it. That's interesting. Thank you. I was curious how much human interaction basically is there, depending on production. Pierre had a meeting every day with his production. It was just every day, feedback every day, every morning. Sometimes there is production where they just want to see the final product. So if you need like 5 days to do it, then during 5 days you are alone working on your work, and then you send the final. Like, depending, but again, you can still ask for it, like, okay, I prefer to send you the work every day so I can have feedback or anything. Set up everything at the beginning, basically ask for everything at the beginning. How long did this photo batch took you to finish? 1 hour and a half, something like this. And my Windows crashed in the middle of it because I ate some wrong shortcut. I'm a mess. You will see there is a cut. Maybe it's already up. No, maybe not. But yeah, yeah, you will see there is a weird cut because of this. Do you use this technique of photo bashing on the sketching phase on top of layout? Okay, let me redo it. Do you use this technique of photo bashing on top of the sketching phase on top of the layout? When I'm doing my layout background design for client, I mean, oh yeah, I'm using just like if I want to use this technique, I use it. Like, I'm fine. Like, if let's say they send me a 3D base and the 3D base is not detailed at all, maybe I can use some photo bash just to quickly find some ideas of composition inside the 3D base and some design ideas, and then I redo it. Sometimes I will just not use it at all and just sketch everything without photo bash. Really, really depending. But yeah, photo bash like this can just help you to generate quick idea and details. It's starting to coming along. Woohoo! I'm starting to have a composition quite okay. Are you paying attention to value when doing photo bash, like tweaking the photo ref? Kind of. Like, when this is too hard to understand the image, if I don't tweak the reference, the value, yes, I will do it. But sometimes, again, I just don't need it because I will like control my value structure and my lighting more when I will do the background design layout after. Because again, to me, this moment, it just really to generate quick ID. So yeah, again, I try to have something okay with my value. So of course, if I have something like way too much out in terms of value, yes, I will tweak it. I feel like the smudge tool would be good for making TikTok art videos look like magic. I don't have TikTok. I'm sorry. It's already hard for me to be on Instagram, ArtStation, Facebook. I'm like, too much social media already. How did you get rid of the watermark quickly on the bottom? Yes, I was waiting for this one. How can I show you this quickly? Okay, maybe I can do it with this one. Not sure. It's not working all the time. Okay, let's say this thing here. I need to remember. Okay, you click Shift and F5, and then you have this thing. This is the content aware. And okay, it's not working. But yeah, as you can see, it's not working all the time. Need to find an image that will do it. But yeah, it's like generating something around it. So it was working on my image. Can I try to do it with another one? I'm pretty sure it will not work, but yeah. Oh, maybe it will be a mess. Yeah. Ta-da! And it kind of generates something with what you have around. So yeah, if I do it again, it's like you do a selection. It needs to be on the same image. You click on Shift, F5, and you have the content aware, and you press OK, and you have it. So it's not working all the time. Oh yeah, Laurel was saying, I know for my production, there is an art meeting on Tuesday, an optional meeting with the art director on Thursday, and all team meeting on Fridays for something fun, general update. Yes. Is it content over fill? Yes, it is. Does Facebook still have utility today? No, not really. To be honest, I'm using Messenger, but that's it. But the thing is, when I post on Instagram, it posts on Facebook automatically, but I don't have to really manage my Facebook. So it's mainly my ArtStation and Instagram, but that's it. I'm so mad at that content aware tool. It doesn't work when it's need. Yeah, when you need it the most. I know, but yeah, I just give it a try sometime. Like, okay, maybe the content aware will work, and you see. If someone needs iPhone recently downloaded that download photo from stock without watermarks, helpful for me. Okay, so you have a link. But yeah, don't use like watermark and copyrighted stuff into your final painting. This is better. I sometimes use the clone tool and do it manually. I'm used to doing this in Procreate. I don't know this tool. So yeah, if you want to show it in the Discord later, feel free. Oh, and Jacob showed this. Okay, okay, let me pause this. Oh, okay. Okay, this is for the content aware. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, I don't remember what you've seen or not. By the way, look at my wrong perspective here. So in this image, I decided to follow the perspective of the pavement, basically. So I can do everything according to this perspective. I know it was a question asked a long time ago, but anyway. Yeah, I'm taking a lot of break, just like thinking of my image, looking at my reference on the side. So oh yeah, this was a wrong ID and I corrected it at the end. But yeah, it was just like, okay, I want to do overgrowth, just as a reminder. Oh yeah, I took a break at this moment and I went to eat and then I was like, okay, let's sketch. You can see the time difference here. So I took a triangle brush and I tried to sketch without using Photobash, just to see if I can like be less brittle and try new stuff. But you will see I'm a mess. How did you change the anchor point of the canvas to rotate it? Oh, when you press Alt and click right, you can move it. And then you can do everything you want and it will rotate according to it. Yep, sorry, where it is, here. If it was a question. Oh, you were talking about the Canva. Sorry, I just what am I doing? Sorry. It's with R. Like I just press R and I can move it. If it was the question. And you have the shortcut here as well. Okay, yeah, it was a question. Okay, cool. Sorry. Another magic trick was unlocked. Yeah, just because again I'm used to traditional or just to write on paper and I just can't have my sheet like straight like this. I need to put it like this so I can write properly on it. So this is the same thing what I'm painting basically. Look how bad I am when I'm sketching. Speaking of art direction, I kind of want to see a show that used the smash brush with photo bashing, kind of like City of Ghosts, but less painting and more distortion. Oh yeah, it could be fun. Is it hard to look at your own process, or is it more fun than art? Both. Like at first it's really hard because I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Do you really want to know how I'm doing this shit? And in the end, this is fun because I can see all the mistake I'm making. And yeah, I can just make fun of me basically, so it's okay. But it's also great because I can see the mistake I'm doing the most, so I can make sure I don't redo the same mistake over and over after. So this is great. Oh yeah, this is the weird cat because my Windows crashed. So this is the reason why a cute car appeared. And this thing is also just a quick reminder because I'm like, okay, this road is too thin to be a road for cars. So this is going to be a pedestrian street only. So I need to maybe make some signage so we can really understand that it was made on purpose. This car is highly photorealistic. Yes, I know. Oh, yeah, and these are to add flower on top of the roof. This is something that we have in Normandy as well. This is so cute. So the next step of the process will be painting over the photo bash, or rather using it as a photo study on a new Canva. I'm painting over the photo bash after. Like I'm painting over the photo bash, but while painting, I need to correct and improve the photo bash. So I need to correct the perspective I did wrong before. I need to design the elements that are not designed. But yeah, I'm painting over it. But you will see my recording as well about how I'm doing the background design layout on top of the photo bash. So I'm confused about the value here, Leah. The house value seems darker and the brush covering them than the brush covering them. Okay. How do you decide on that? I get confused by atmospheric affecting how far the object or vs the actual value. But she's okay. Sorry. Oh, I just put this like I just take the value I had and I did it really quick. You will see that okay, we're at this moment where I am starting to adjust a bit the value and starting to create the lighting and stuff like this. So you will have your answer right now. But yeah, the values are gonna be worked after. Again, this is just a sketch. I'm really so sad I can show you what I did for work, where when I did like some really messy photo bash and the final layout painting. Here, I just wanted to fake some projected shadow from other building in front. And here, just wanted to double check if the direction was the same. Do you have a specific Canva ratio for this sketch? Yes, it was 2.35.1, something like this. So this is, I think you have it in one of the PDF I gave you already. Okay, let me open, not this one. I don't have it on this one. Okay. I think I saved something for you, especially for this question. Yes. So you have this website. I will put it in the chat. And I decided to go for this ratio, like a cinema ratio. Did you make some iteration before this one, or you keep evolving until you are satisfied? I did not do any iteration for this one, but it was maybe, I mean, it was for the purpose of the course. Like I did not have much time this week to do a lot of iteration, but you will have to do iteration. And this is what I'm doing at work. I'm doing several iteration and several layouts so they can choose what they like the most and what we can combine everything. But yeah, and of course I evolve until I'm satisfied as well. But yeah, I still do like to do iteration. Okay, this is just a quick ID for the storytelling at the very end. Maybe someone will be at the window saying, hey, bye to someone in a Vespa outside going for delivery, or I don't know. I will see. So yeah, this month I just try to clean my mess a little bit, but yeah. And again, these projected shadow are not accurate at all. But yeah, it's just a reminder for me. I will work on this with the final. I also miss the projected shadow of the billboard here, but anyway, I know I need to add it. Yeah, I'm too perfectionist at this point. Like, look the wrong perspective. Here, this thing is bad. Don't do this. It doesn't mean anything to see the top of it with our current perspective. Anyway. Will you just leave it flat and deal with the perspective when rendering? I will deal with the perspective during the layout stage, so the week after. Because to me, my layout needs to be ready to paint and render. So the layout is for me the stage where I will design every element, check my perspective, check my value contrast and everything. So I can go to the render and color basically. But yeah, again, right now I'm just throwing ID and I just care about IDs and overall composition. Oh, this isn't the layout stage. Yes. Nope. This one is the sketch stage for me. I mean, again, a layout can be different depending on people, I guess. But to me, a strong layout is when you have like a strong perspective and a strong idea of the volume. And right now my volume are not quite yet. The perspective is wrong on some area. So yeah, so this is why I am saying layout background design, because like in my case, this is the same thing. So I will design my piece in black and white, and then I will render it. And this is what I'm receiving at Sony right now. Like someone is doing a layout, but actually the sketch is pretty precise already and I have some design in it. So yeah. But it can be, I mean, this photo batch and this step can also be a layout. So yeah. Yeah, I found the term layout seems to mean different things to different jobs. Exactly. Maybe also depending on the region too. I don't know. Maybe. I think it also depends on like the production. Like sometimes the layout I will receive will be just gray blocks. So sometimes the layout I will receive will be more background design. So yeah, depending. This is why you will see in my PDF as well. I call it layout slash background design, because I know that what I call layout is maybe more background design because there is already a lot of information in it. as I can do the concept of the bakery, then do the concept of the background, and then the layout of the background. Whoa, this one is difficult. But yeah, you can do the concept of the bakery, the concept of the background, and then, yeah, yes, you can. Do you see or discuss any previs? If so, does it influence somewhat? What do you call previs? You can be a bit more like animatic. Oh, yeah, of course. Like when you see the animatic, then you maybe have like some more constraints while painting your background. So you just need to adapt. But yeah, of course. It's great to be curious as well. Like if they don't show you the animatic, maybe you can just ask to see it if there is one, because it can be great for you as well. But yeah. I think previs is also what's known as layout as a job title sometimes. Oh, okay. But yeah, this industry is a bit crazy with name. Like the same name can mean this like 4 or 5 different things. So yeah. Oh, that was a question. I forgot to put the okay. Oh, but if you validated, I'm good. Okay. But yeah, of course. Maybe they can ask you like in production to do the concept of the background and then the concept of the bakery as like separated elements, but then they want the bakery in this specific background. So you need to kind of merge these two. But I mean, if the concept of the background and bakery are finished, not sure you really need to do a layout for the overall, or I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway, like the thing is you can sketch the background and then sketch the bakery. I'm fine. And then you do the layout of the overall piece together. So you block like the perspective and the shape and everything. I believe the Animation Guild separate this as different job classification in the US. Usually you can only be credited as one role if you're union. So either background, prop, or character. That's for TV animation. Visual development is different. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little confused about this sometimes. I want to do 2D, 3D boarding eventually, but I've been trying to not to do many things at once. Thought layout seems to be a cross between storyboarding and background design, at least from what I've seen as an outsider, depending on the production again, really depending. Like in this dev, it's like, you're doing 2D, but then you can do a layout for someone. And it's full 2D. So yeah, really, really depending on the production. Oh yeah, this Vespa was really a mess. Like the value structure of the ref I took was horrible. So I was just like, okay, let's remove it, and I will just put it in my note. So I will add a Vespa later. Yeah, I see. I think the unions make title specific, but in other countries, they could mean something else, especially if pipeline are different. Maybe, yes, I think so. I know Japan's boarding Genga method is a bit different. But yeah, for sure. Again, depending on the production, depending on where you are, it can be very, very different. And this is the reason why you need to adapt and ask a lot of questions. Oh, sorry. Looks like my question got lost. Maybe. Let me know if you can answer it, by the way. If there anything challenging about working remotely from Europe, I mean, apart from the time difference, don't have a question fully formed yet. No, I mean, I just adapt to the time zone of the production I'm working on. So No, to be honest, I don't have any challenge with that. Like most part of the time, production also are used to work with freelance people from other country. So they kind of try to adapt and match your time zone as well to find something comfortable for both. Like for example, I'm doing my meeting at 6 my time, 6 p.m., which is 9 a.m. for them, which is great. So yeah. I thought I hear 4D layout. Did I miss here? Oh no, I say 3D layout. But yeah, my English is a mess. Sorry. When they use primitive shape to get general placement and timing. Yeah. With natural subject like Jibaro, did you go through photo bashing? They did. I did not have to do it. But yeah, I remember one of the scene, Alberto was not able to take the photo he wanted. So they had to do a collage, so a photo bash, to set up like the color and the composition they wanted for the shot, and then we did a study of this photo bash. So yes, they did it. I think George did it. George Varody. Oh yeah, I say that because I saw a job layout artist in the UK, but it asked for character prop layout, where most background design jobs I've seen in the US seems to not involve character at all. Yeah. Really cool thought with nature. Cool. Okay, cool. So yeah. And after this step, before I do the layout, what I like to do, like I take notes on things I want to improve and want to think about later. So basically, I'm like, okay, I plan to add people and open the bakery door to introduce more storytelling. I also want more flower design, like the street lamp and everything. And I'm like, okay, here I will have a donut showcase. Here I want to make it obvious this is a private garage and garden. I will add like a cute car here and put some stuff inside it. Here's gonna be a pantry. Here I want to create a cool pattern with mosaic flowers, a bunny hidden inside it. Here as well on the wooden structure, I want to add some mosaic thing. Here I need to design the stained glass. This one was just a reminder to put more volume overall. I already talked about it, but yeah, just to suggest, this is a pedestrian street. The famous Vespa I want to have here, the beach view, I want to make it obvious. I also want to try to skew some element to avoid to have something too straight and boring. Need to fix overall perspective that I failed. Overall more design for the wood structure, just to have something that goes with what I want to translate in my final painting. I want to add some moss on the roof, and I need to design as well like the font, the logo of the Donut Bakery. So yeah, fixed perspective. Yeah, really, this is me. In the industry, what is the most frequent deal with the concept artist work done before or making the background from your own concept? I think they might have both, but I'm wondering if I have to seriously train myself to do concept design of individual elements and not just in composition. Okay, let me redo it in my mind. Deal with the concept artist work done before, like you mean if someone give you a concept art and you need to work on top of it? Or making the background from your own concept? I'm not sure to understand. If you can maybe redo it differently. I'm wondering if I have to seriously train myself to do concept design of individual elements and not just in composition. And for that part, it's more like, when doing visual development, yes, you need to be able to do design. Like it's like, okay, you will do an overall concept piece with more or less good design, but you have an overall idea of what you want. But then you go into a design stage where you need to design every single element. So you're like, okay, the street lamp are gonna look like this in our world. Okay, and the wood structure are gonna look like this. So you need to go into a design in the end. So again, if you're doing visual development, you need to be able to do everything. So yes, you need to be able to do design. But if you find a job where you only need to do rogue concept art and composition and everything, and you don't go into really design, then you don't need it. But I would say that, I mean, this is always great to be curious and to learn different stuff. But yeah, and yeah, if you want to redo the first part of your question so I can understand it, yeah. Oh yeah, I told you about this one already, your new best friend. Okay, let me remove what I have here, what it is. Okay, this. Oh yeah, maybe I can show you real quick. What time is it? Okay, we have 10 minutes left. I was able to grab the photo bash Pierre did. I mean, the photo bash is almost at the end of his painting, but he did this. So there was a photo bash before and he sketched on top of it, but it was like the first thing he did for the bakery. So he's at the end of it now. He did the final render and everything. I already sent a work in progress of what he did in the Discord. So if someone missed it, maybe I can find it. Did I send it in the lounge chat? Oh yes, here. But yeah, you went into the render of this thing. So you will have the step-by-step and the final Pierre did as well. So you have something completely different from the same brief, basically. But he used the same technique, like doing a photo bash, sketching over it, and then going into the render. And here he started to add color already, but everything was worked in black and white, just so you have an idea. Did he photo bash the car headlight? That's really cool. Yes. And so here you go. So basically for this week, you need to create several mood boards to prepare your painting. So the lighting you want, the architecture, the art direction. So basically the mood board I showed you before, what you like, what element you want to put in it, etc. Do at least 3 photo bash composition in black and white. If you have time, try to do 1 per day, so 5. Again, really depending on the time you have per day to dedicate to the homework. But yeah, if you can do at least 3, it's great. So we can choose together which one is the best one to push to the final render. I think you have well answered my question. Sorry, I worked too fast. Okay, cool. And yeah, as I told you before, we don't need the perfect rendered photo bash. I just want to understand the overall idea and what you want to go for. Basically, a good composition, like a quick idea of the lighting you want and design and everything. And that's it. And you will have, of course, a PDF with like the homework inside it, with my mood board, with the photo bash. So yeah. So if you have any question, feel free. Oh, maybe I can upload as well the photo bash and mood board separately from the PDF for you. I think I will do this as well. So yeah, we still have like 7 minutes or something. So yeah, if you have any question, feel free. If not, I think we can stop. So yeah. Okay, I think we are all good. So yeah, if you have any question later, feel free to ask in the Discord. I'm pretty active in the Discord. If you have any doubt or anything, feel free. And yeah, I think see you next week.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
Thanks so much,
Thank
Leah.
you.
Bye.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.